Do you wanna stay the night? 'Cause I don't wanna be alone. It's been weighing on my mind for too long, too long. Do you wanna save a life? 'Cause I just really need someone. I've been barely holding on, and I'm still running from my demons. I'm still hiding all my secrets, and I just need someone I believe in. Will you wait for me while I'm still healing? You know what to say every time I start to slip away, and I surrender. I surrender. There's no more falling down. I've hit the ground, so I surrender. And I surrender. There's no more falling down. I've hit the ground. You don't owe me anything, but I believe that you can show me all the things that I've been needing. I'm just hoping you give me a reason to go on. And I'm still running from my demons. I'm still hiding all my secrets, and I just need someone I believe in. Will you wait for me while I'm still healing? You know what to say every time I start to slip away, and I surrender. I surrender. There's no more falling down. I've hit the ground, so I surrender. And I surrender. There's no more falling down. I've hit the ground. You're pulling on my walls down. I've never been exposed like this before. I'm good at shutting you out. I've always had a way of keeping closed. Beating, hiding, I've been calling out your name from the darkness, thinking it's too late. If you're finding I've been too much on your plate, I'll keep hiding, calling out your name, calling out your name. Your name. Tell me how you're feeling since you got me out in the open. Now I'm ready to dive in. I know you told you it would be a slow burn. Beating, hiding, I've been calling out your name from the darkness, thinking it's too late. If you're finding I've been too much on your plate, I'll keep hiding, calling out your name, calling out your name.
What's up, people? Um, Pepper, I hope you can switch the screen on the parser because I'm not seeing the. Yeah. Hello, hello, guys. Welcome to the stream, the SLE stream. We're here to bring you some banger games. Why have you done that? Why is this here next to me? Anyway, all right, we've got a hype matchup here. It's Black Flag Sailors up against Gucci Nebula. This is the first round of the playoffs. Well, for not the first round, but first round for both these two teams. And coming into this, I think they actually played against each other before the playoffs. They had a round against each other in the regular season where Gucci Nebula got the 2-0. And I think in recent times, Gucci Nebula has been on the way up. I think Black Flag Sailors, they fit amongst the narrative of being one of the solid rosters, but not necessarily on the tips of people's tongues in terms of are they going to dominate the league, but they are indeed a very strong team. Of course, however, I will say there is a very interesting matchup happening in the bottom lane. It is Bootner up against Sanix, and I mean, as far as high elo 80 carries in the SLE goes, it's these two guys. These are the two that you want to look at. Obviously, there are a wealth of talented 80 carries in the league, but these two kind of dominate that high elo level. And the bot lane is really, really my focus. I'm taking a look at every single matchup here, and I'm seeing like what is the tightly contested one. It's definitely going to be the bot lane. I think one argument I can say is the top lane here is quite an interesting conversation. It's Ruzu up against Linus. So Ruzu has shown that he is one of, arguably is the strongest top laner in the entire league right now. Whether that's the case, of course, it can be proven as the playoff rounds start playing out. But he's up against Linus, an SLE veteran, a finalist. I think he is a talented top laner in his own right, and someone who, if you are gathering a pool of names that could contest Ruzu, or could contain Ruzu at least, Linus is definitely a name in that conversation. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this matchup. I do think I mean Black Flag Sailors, they have a one-dimensional playstyle. And usually the case up against stronger teams is that they struggle because of that. However, I think Gucci Nebula have shown that they can play multiple playstyles, but they definitely have one that is stronger for them. As Yeah, we head straight into the draft. We have already seen some bans come out. Aurora is taken away from Ruzu and Ichi actually. That is a flex if I'm not mistaken. And they're actually targeting heavily the champion pool of the mid lane. So Hui gets out. Rel, completely reasonable ban, especially when you're playing against Loco. Probably, in my opinion, the best Rel in the league. Currently, the meta right now, if anyone has been keeping an eye on Worlds or any sort of competitive play these days, I was going to say Kai'Sa is one of the best B1s available, and it gets locked in straight away. So Bootner will get his hands on a champion with a high level of agency and a champion that he can make a lot of outplays on. Of course, there's multiple variances with Kai'Sa's builds, meaning that he can kind of decipher what he wants to do with that champion depending on the rest of the game. Viego is going to be responded to that Kai'Sa, as Shy has been playing it in the recent games to a high level of success. I think he's just going to feel confident to lock that in straight away. I think one layer of conversation that we need to explore is the fact that Gucci Nebula have picked up A's to help them in their journey of the SLE. And we've seen many times before how this can result in a championship victory for your entire squad. And I'm expecting something similar for this new team. I do think... I really do think A's will be able to direct these talented players into a correct, I guess, trajectory moving forward. Ashe is going to get locked in. Similarly, a strong AD carry in the meta right now, and a fantastic pick into the Kai'Sa. It's one of Kai'Sa's worst matchups. Kai'Sa is very mobile, yes, but doesn't like just being perma-slowed, which is what Ashe can do. So that's going to be a tricky situation. We see Gragas get locked in. This is a flex pick. I'm not sure how much of it is a flex pick for Black Flag Sailors. You can play that in the jungle, you can play that in the top lane. It is two very different styles of Gragas. I think in the jungle, you're more likely running a full AP burst kind of Gragas play, whereas if you are playing it on the top side, you can run the Grasp, you can go a little bit more of a tanky build, you can go the Archangels into Cosmic Drive or Zhonya's, and you can just be a little bit more tanky, a little bit more utility for your team. As the Rakan is going to be locked in here for Gucci Nebula, so Loco will have, again, a support where he's got a lot of playmaking to do. That is his strength. So Gucci Nebula definitely drafting to the strengths of their team so far, but so is Black Flag Sailors. Again, we don't really know where this Gragas is going. It could go into the jungle, it could go into the top lane. But Black Flag Sailors, they have all the information they need. They're just going to ban out some top laners here. Nebula focusing the Yone. I'm assuming this is targeting the meta pick, a strong meta pick. The thing about Black Flag Sailors team composition right now is that you have AP in Kai'Sa, you have AP in Gragas, so you don't necessarily need another AP mage. If anything, it's going to be harmful to the team composition if you draft too much AP. So you're probably going to want to look at an AD mid laner, hence why Nebula is just taking that out straight away. Cassante is banned, so Ruzu's comfort pick's not open to select, but he is on red side, so should have counter pick on the R5. And we see Talia gets locked in. That again is another comfort pick of Ichigotti, and well, he's going to be a fantastic tool in this game. There's a Kai'Sa, there's a Braum, there's a Gragas. Talia very, very functional up against those three champions already. And the rest of Black Flag Sailors team composition, you can kind of see the information on your screen. They are going to be picking a team composition that might struggle against a neutralizer like the Talia. So as the draft plays out, you can see Black Flag Sailors, they're kind of ticking down the timer there. They are going to lock in the Victor, which is a great matchup for the Talia. But he does definitely need to be careful, because whilst Victor in the isolated matchup does get the advantage, he is a sitting duck if this Viego decides to interfere. It's really easy setup. Like, Victor's a very immobile mage, and when you think of immobile mages like the Orianna, the Syndra, whoa, you're not doing that with Silas open, are you? Okay, Malphite gets blinded. However, Silas is open, and knowing Ruzu, he is Asian, he should be able to play the champion. So I'm curious to see how it goes, because I'm looking at my screen, and whilst, okay, I mean, Gwen just as good, not as good, but yeah, I was kind of thinking like Silas goes crazy here. However, it does mean it's a bit more of a tricky team composition to pull off, but I mean, you take them off ultimate, so it's not that much more difficult. But the Gwen, just as good, if not slightly better for the actual team composition here. And what's kind of interesting to see is that, again, going back to that stylistic conversation of what's Black Flag Sailors' identity as a team, it is definitely one-dimensional, but it's a front-to-back team composition. They draft two reliable carries, they draft a front line, they draft support can either be engaged or protective. In this case, it's the Braum. And so that is that. Now Nebula, it's a little bit more chaotic. It's a little bit more difficult to execute. It's slightly less straightforward. But if you look at the matchups here, outside of mid lane, they should be winning on bot lane. They should be winning on top lane. They should be winning in terms of getting that Viego onto the maps, onto a map state that benefits him into a great degree. So I do think draft-wise, I don't have a side that I'm favoring over the other, mainly just because I do think it is quite even. I think both teams have definitely drafted team compositions that suits their roster like the best possible way. Interesting thing to note is that the damage profile from Black Flag Sailors is very, very good. You have a nice balance of AP and AD. It is leaning a lot towards the AP side of things, but because of the lack of frontline that Gucci Nebula have, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, where it becomes an issue is itemization. If Gucci Nebula can itemize in an effective way, for example, Viego with a Wit's End is so valuable in this game. It literally just means like he's not going to get bursted by a Victor or a Gragas, and you know, getting reset, surviving for that first reset in a team fight is big for the Viego. Ashe as well, a champion that can run that Wit's End if she so pleases. And you know, I mean, Gwen is, you don't really build resistances on Gwen because your W is just so broken when it comes to tanking up a lot of damage in these fights. And like, where's the main threats, right? It's like, it's gonna be Gragas coming in with a belly bop. Gwen obviously gets affected by that, but then the Kai'Sa burst or the Victor burst, Gwen doesn't really care. So I think I'm definitely interested to see. I think the key player for Black Flag Sailors to make this team composition work is going to be this Braum. There's a lot of tools that Braum can block out on this Good Chi Nebula draft, but if his positioning in these fights are lackluster, if he is not necessarily making the map movements to match the Rakan's aggressive play on the map, then that is where the Braum can fall behind in the game like this. That is where the Rakan can't get an advantage. And for Ictus, he's been a fantastic player for Black Flag Sailors on the engaged side of things. I think the criticism of this player is like, outside of these big engagers, can he step up to the plate on a champion like a Braum, where of course you can be an engage, but then you're not playing the champion to the maximum effect. And yeah, we'll have to see. And I definitely think it's really important to discuss the the top lane matchup between the Malphite and the Gwen. Whilst on paper this does look like a heavily one-sided matchup in favor of the Gwen, similar to Ornn, it's like Gwen isn't the biggest 1v9 champion at the start of the game. She actually, like, for example, I've seen Gwen get solo killed by Ornns many times before. I've seen Gwen get solo killed by Scions, by Malphites, and yeah, Gwen does definitely need to be sure to be careful in the early parts of the lane. And I think I'm joined by maybe.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, welcome.
I managed to finish my game.
Congrats on finishing your game. Did you win?
Yes, FF15.
Oh, that's fantastic. What's the FF? That's my goat. Right. I'm not sure if you're in the parsec just yet, so I'll just keep yapping until you're in. But yeah, prediction-wise, I will have to lean towards Good Chi Nebula. I think okay, if nameplates were off, I actually would go with the Black Flag Sailors team composition, but when I watched these two play against each other in the regular season, I did find that Nebula was just a bit too much for Black Flag Sailors on an individual basis, and I think BFS, I think their strength definitely is in their team play, but there's kind of an extent to which that goes if the individuals aren't good enough. And I'm not saying that they're not good enough, but I think in comparison to their counterparts, they just fall a little bit short in that conversation. What do you think?
I believe BFF's biggest strength isn't really in the coordinated team play. It's more when the game gets really scrappy, like when you have a lot of fights, a lot of skirmishes, a lot of 1v1s, a lot of 3v3s, where they can show their individual strengths. Like Hüttner is a really good mechanic player, but he's kind of shit on a macro gaming play.
Okay.
So if BFF can manage to get Nebula down to the level, it should be a really close game. But I also believe Nebula is the better team.
Yep.
And
I mean, that is an interesting conversation. I feel like the SLE is a really fantastic league in the sense that sometimes you might have the better players, you might actually just straight up be the better team, but because of the playstyles of some teams, they suck you into this absolutely random fiesta of just nonsense on the map, and that's where like a team like BFS can get an advantage onto Nebula if they can kind of just bait them into these chaotic scenarios and they can kind of flip it and win it out. So I think, yeah, no, that's a fair point. I do think if BFS are going to win it, it would just be catching Nebula off guard and making them play the BFS game.
Yeah, a lot of BFS wins also came off Denzer just getting a lot of early kills.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Denzer, probably an interesting conversation, right? Him moving over to the jungle role from the mid lane, and I think whilst he's a very respected mid laner in the SLE, his jungle career has gotten off to a great start. And it's kind of like, I think a lot of people were questioning this swap. They were like unsure. They were assuming that this was gonna take a turn for the worse. And whilst overall it's not been an amazing split from BFS, it's where it has looked good. It definitely has looked fantastic. So I think, yeah, really nice point on to Denza. We'll see if he can get early kills. However, I do remember if he doesn't get early kills, that's kind of where it goes very south for BFS.
I mean, the meta also favored Denza, with the AP junglers being really strong during, like in the moment he swapped to jungle. So he didn't really need to change his playstyle much.
Yeah.
As he could just continue to play the mages in the jungle like he did in mid lane.
Mm-hmm. Yep, as we do see a standard sort of covering from Gucci Nebula, but BFS went for something a little bit more aggressive. Do you expect anything to be happening in the early game?
There should be some fighting in the mid lane. Line is probably just gonna try to get as much CS as you can in top lane. Try not to die, not to get ganked. But don't believe top lane should be shouldn't be anything happening in top lane. Maybe Nebula can try something in mid lane to kill the Victor who doesn't have any escape. But the bot lane, it's really possible for the bot lane to get scrappy.
Yeah,
Just 2v2 fights, 3v3 fights.
Bot lane could get really scrappy, but you kind of see at the start of this level 1 trade, the reason why Ashe is such a good pick into the Kai'Sa is because of the range and the passive slows. It just makes it so difficult for Kai'Sa to actually trade into the Ashe, of course. If the Kai'Sa can get like on top of the Ashe, that is where Kai'Sa does win. But getting on top of the Ashe is kind of the difficult bit.
Yeah. Rakan also helps the Ashe peel a lot.
Yeah, and yeah, you see already Sanix just peppering arrows into Bootner. Already half HP in like level 1. Very interesting. They're actually hitting level 2 here, meaning that Wacky Race bot lane do have to back off, and you know, already Nebula's bot lane playing this lane very well.
Yeah, a lot of trading going in the favor of Gucci Nebula here. Just a small chunk, an auto attack here, W there.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
because you don't have any healing in the early game, except for the potion.
It's slow and methodical, but it's a very good. It's a good start, but I mean, Denza is going from top to bot, so they will need to look out for a potential Gragas gank. I mean, Gragas ganks are very powerful. The E flash is, I mean, you're a jungler, you could probably speak on this one yourself. It's a Gragas ganking pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I mean, if you can notice it early enough, you can just run away mostly. Because, of course, his E-Flash is limited range.
Oh
but...
my lord. Yeah, limited range, and he's actually going to... Oh, I thought he was going to skip Krugs to go for that gank, but I think with the health...
Not with the wave.
Yeah, I think with the wave and the chunk that Kai'Sa Braum received, it's going to be pretty hard to get this gank off anyway. And Shai is here as well if he wants to cover. The Viego is a lot faster than the Gragas on the clear, so Viego might even be able to get double crab here. But Gragas is
You should
get
for sure get
up.
double crabbed here.
He might even get a mid lane gank here. As well, I don't think Noir Tempest has any idea that there's a Viego behind him. He's gonna pop that W. Doesn't flash the stun. Does flash the seismic shove, so does get away. But a victim with no flash is a sitting duck in the mid lane. And Shai, the pathing here on the Viego is fantastic.
No Tempest not respecting that Viego was in bot side. Just overstepping a lot.
Yep.
Has to use the flash, but managed to escape. So.
Yeah, it does escape at the claws of death. But, I mean, Shai getting both crabs, getting mid flash. Whereas, unfortunately, Denza, because of his, like, what seemed like a attempt at the bot gank, but then cancelled kind of as a result of the wave, lost a bit of time on the clear, and is going to be a little bit behind on the game. You see already, like, the Viego's 10 CS up, 4 minutes into the game. Pretty good luck for him.
I mean, it's...
Malphite's broken, eh?
I mean, in an early game, Malphite can still match the Gwen.
Yeah.
If he gets level 6 first, he can maybe try to kill her. even. Like he has a small window there. But if Gwen is full HP with the ult together with the ult, Malphite is just not tanky enough to basically fight her after that.
Yeah, exactly. And okay, Ruzu kind of toying with Linus a little bit there. I mean, he's just gonna get the recall off and like, oh,
No.
that is tragic. And wow, what's interesting now is that the wave stay isn't. I mean, I think this should be fine for the Malphite. He should be able to.
Yeah,
There's actually
it's a
pushing
slow
towards-
push.
Yeah, it's a slow push, so he should be fine. But Itchy hanging around on the bot side of the jungle. Weirdly enough, his
He's a
position
bit
means.
alone here.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, Ixis, you could see, roamed towards mid for a gank, but because of Itchy's position, there was no gank to be had, so a bit creative. I don't know if that was on purpose or maybe just a happy coincidence, but yeah, really nice. And I mean, bit of a slow early game. Who would you say has got better scaling?
Ooh.
It's close.
I mean, it's difficult. I think Victor is the best scaling champion in this game. I think Victor is the best scaling, then is
Oh,
then is Gwen.
speaking of Victor, he's got no flash. Shy. He's going to force the ultimate out, but Itchy a bit slow to respond to that one. He's going to look for a combo potentially. He does land it onto Noir Tempest, and he's going to land some Qs. Early game Talia, though, not the strongest in the game, as you can see. Doesn't really do too much damage. I assume that was just straight up a dead Victor, but yeah, maybe some discoordination there, but I mean, there was a nice initial combo at the end by Itchy. So Grubs gets started up. He's going to have the help of Ruzu. Loco and Itchy are still
4 people of
on
the
the
Sailors
mid-wave.
here.
Yeah, I
They're
mean
pulled out.
they get 2 Grubs, and they're actually absolutely fine with this because they moved the Braum up. Braum is wasting a lot of time, you know, just getting 1 Grub. So I think good Nebula will be happy with that.
I mean, 1 grub still means that if you can fully get all of the next grubs, the next 3 grubs, you can still get the 1 grub spawn after hitting a turret, which is still a good breakpoint. So it's fine, especially because Loco was also not sitting in the bot lane, so Brittner could get some CS. It should be a slow push in bot lane. Don't know because I don't see the exact wave state right now. He is 10 CS behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, well, Ixis going forward. Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing, right, is Ixis only just hit level 5, so he's very behind on levels. He was trying to move around the map, make some plays happen, but it's kind of led to nothing, so he lost out on a lot. So Loco will hit level 6 before Ictus does, if things remain the same. I think good Nebula. They understand. Pushing bot side. Brittner was chunked to half HP. This is a really nice angle to take the dragon. Or the crab. Yeah.
Both of them at the same time.
Yeah. You're a jungler. What's more important, crab or dragon?
I mean, the crab gives you
Oh, God,
almost
here
the
we go.
same gold as
Here we go. Here we
Drake.
go. Okay. Oh, does it? Does it? What about
Yeah.
the other? What about the other stats dragons give you?
What's
Not
that?
okay. You heard
Drake
it.
gives you
Here,
stats?
I mean, not. Yeah. No, you're right. Gold.
Only
Crabs.
gold.
Crabs. Anyway, Shy is going for a little bit of a bot gank here. He's going to get spotted out by that control ward. Denza is around to stop anything from happening, and I think, yeah, Gucci Nebula know that. A very slow-paced game. This is kind of LCK-esque, very macro. And you said, if BFS want to win, they need to not play macro, because they're not great at it. They need to make it chaotic, but, I mean, what do you think of their plan so far? Because nothing's happening, and they're somehow behind on gold.
I mean, the vision is really good from Nebula in the blue side jungle. So everywhere Denza goes, Nebula knows that he is there.
Yep.
So it's not really possible for him to do anything. Especially if Nebula respects it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It's a tough game from Denza here, but I mean, based off your kind of analysis on Black Flag Sailors and their strengths, what do you think they should be doing to try and create some chaos?
I mean, you can always try to just force a fight. Just straight up run into them, especially if you have the Malphite there somewhere.
Send it.
Maybe push out top lane, let the Malphite reset and let him roam to bot. So you
Yeah.
can engage on the Ashe. Okay, flash in from Denza, trades flash with EG.
Yeah, Trader Flash is good. Denza finally getting something on the map. Obviously, Gragas, okay, a fight in bot lane is happening as Ictus does get knocked up. It's just a small trade. That one, kind of fine. That was probably the best trade I've seen the BFS bot lane take. Ictus tanked up a lot of the damage. But yeah, bit of a slow game.
Tries positioning in mid lane again, maybe trying to look for a gank. Victor has flash pick up, but it's fine. Malphite TP in bot lane.
There is a TP happening in the bot side. Sanix is going to flash over the wall. Loco using the quickness to get away. And Sanix just running towards the opposite side. Denza is on the top side of the map. So Sanix should be absolutely fine. And Malphite's TP has been used for nothing. Ruzu gets plates in the top side as well. And yeah, it's like you said, the macro of BFS just is a bit confusing. So they have to use TP, they get nothing, they lose plate in top, they lose grubs on top side, and Ashe isn't even behind in CS because of the strong laning.
I think if the BFS bot lane managed to engage
Get a fight
first.
breaking out here. Weaver's Wall is used. The Void Grubs, I think Gucci Nebula got
Good
4,
OG.
but Linus is going to catch everyone with the unstoppable force. No one from Black Flag Sailors is going to drop as 3 kills just go into the hands of Nebula. Denza finds the cask, and that's 4 kills. Just as you said, all Nebula had to do was get out after the objective, but they fight too far forward, and a beautiful punish from Black Flag Sailors means a team fight win.
I mean, they didn't really have the vision, so they didn't know where Linus was. Black Sailors managed to engage, but punished him for stacking inside the pit. 3 people inside the Magnet Storm, the Victor ult, I believe so. And
No, Magnet Storm is Realm. Chaos Storm.
Chaos Storm. And it's, yeah.
Just a guess though. I'm not a loser, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, remind my fight ulti inside the Victor ult. So all of the AoE just bursting down Ruzu, Shy, and
that was crazy.
Loco, I believe. Yeah. Ruzu, Shy, and Loco inside the pit.
And we see already the kind of function of this BFS team composition. It's very burst. It's wombo combo. We're gonna one-shot 4 people at once kind of team composition. So
yeah,
that is what their team comp can do. I think, of course, they are slightly ahead on gold. I think they should be able to use this. Denza is gonna spot Shy out in the river. Viego, it's quite a strong champion in his own right. So shows Denza to almost half HP. You can see both teams trying to make plays around bot side, but very, very difficult to gank, actually, both sides of bot lane.
I mean, BFF is looking to punish Xenix for using his flash before, but
Yeah.
he's safe enough. Ulti in mid lane. It's
Oh,
gonna hit.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to hit. Noir Tempest does have the flash, but he's being stunned for 90 years. 9 millennia longer, he is still CC'd, and that's how far away that Ashe ultimate hit. Right between the eyes in the bot lane, and Gucci Nebula finally get themselves on the board. The kill went over to the Viego. They're going to start up the dragon here. They are missing a Victor, but he does respawn in just about 12 seconds time. He can TP back into this if he feels confident in doing so. Did use that Chaos Storm, so has a little bit less fighting power. Itchy playing around the side, looking for a nice Weaver's Wall to split them in half. The teleport does come in. No TP available for the Malphite, as he might just be getting solo killed in the top side. A kill for Uji does get traded back. Dragon secured already for Gucci Nebula, as Noir Tempest is face tanking Tilia's entire combo. W going to hit from Butner, as Gucci Nebula learn their lessons from mistakes of the past and are just trying to get out of here. Loco gets a 2-man knockup. Shy gets stunned up by the concussive blows and is gonna be finished off by Noir Tempest. Butner, one more auto attack, is gonna lock down Loco with the concussive blows. Steps forward even more aggressively. He wants this kill. He's got Locos in his eyes, but he runs underneath the turret to safety. And it's only a 1 kill for Black Flag Sailors. They did actually get the kill onto the Gwen in the top side. You do have to lose a dragon for that. Denza throws a cask and chunks out Loco even more. They might look for a dive here, but the wave not really in position. Teleport is available for Linus if he chooses to use it, but he does TP here. He's going to end up losing that top turret. The fight does eventually end. And yeah, kills going in favor of Black Flag Sailors.
I mean, a good use of the Talia ult to split the team, to deny Denza the possibility of stealing the Drake, because he just had no way of going in. Then in a long chase, Shy just getting clipped by the edge of the Braum ultimate. And almost, if he managed to hit the blast cone and not the Braum, he could have maybe gotten out.
Yeah.
At least it would have been 10 to 15 seconds more.
It was a tough blast cone to clip. There was a lot of people around that one. But I think Black Flag Sailors, like you said, they're thriving in the chaos. But they need to be sure to keep an eye on the objectives right now. They have lost... they're at a disadvantage on basically every single one so far. They should have enough fighting power to just contest this Herald straight up. So we'll see if they use that well. They are going to be on it, but I'm looking at the mini-map right now, and Bootner potentially under threat. Does have Cleanse, does have Flash. Sanix has the ultimate holding onto it, but now the teleport is coming through.
Linus.
Loco completely whiffs his combo. Linus has entered the fray from the top side. Well, just like last time, doesn't seem like he's able to find anything just yet. Not using the ultimate will save his AD carry's life for now. Cleanse did have to be used, and the TP as well. At least they get the Herald on the top side. So overall, this isn't a bad trade from Black Flag Sailors because no one managed to die. The cross map was defended. And well, that's finally an objective.
Linus going in and bot.
Yeah, Linus is going in bot lane, but let's remember to count because there's 3 people on the enemy team and there's only 2 of us. This might not have been the fight that you imagine. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow is going to hit the double knockup from Loco. And just like that, 2 people drop. And suddenly Black Flag Sailors just throw away all their hard work in this fantastic early game. Itchy is even going to TP into the mid lane to defend that wave. And they're going to lose this bot lane turret.
I mean, it looks like they wanted to engage under Rakan. Or Linus ulti didn't hit the Ash. But I don't know for sure from the minimap. Not Tempest doing a lot of damage. Just trading ults in bot lane. Ruzo has to recall. Gets cancelled a few times.
He does have to recall, but does have TP, so I think overall is absolutely chilling. I think, well, I think one of the... Oh! Viego's dead.
Yeah. She probably overstayed for the camp.
I
I
would advise... Usually Gragas one-shots are quite painful to watch. It is just like a... it's just like a bomber and just... explosions.
I mean, he's also really far ahead, kind of. He has 3 kills,
he's very far
1.5 items, plus boots.
And Gragas is really good here. He can basically one-shot every champion on the Nebula side. Well, they are using a TP for this mid lane turret, and the Herald. It's a lot of. It's a lot. Okay. Okay. I mean, they do get the mid lane turret. They did invest a lot. We'll see if they keep going for more. You can see Gucci Nebula are starting to make a collapse here. Ruzu from the bottom side. There is going to be a big fight. Noir Tempest gets tagged with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Loco's going to engage on multiple people. The combo from the Talia was late, though. And so no one is going to die here. Ruzu doesn't have the ultimate. The Unstoppable Force is going to stop him. Sanix is trying to do what he can with the arrows, but just doesn't do enough damage for now. I feel like that was such a good engage, and no one from Black Flag Sailors died.
I mean, the Ash ult hit on No Tempest, then Rakan knockup. Was it just...
The biggest thing here is, like, when this Ash ult hits, like, the Talia combo would have been massive, but I think Itchy was a bit too far away to get anything off.
He just clicked back.
Yeah. Maybe some misspacing or misclicking, but yeah, when that Ash ult hit, I was like, oh no, this is so doomed for them. But no follow up. There was absolutely no follow up, and it just meant that Black Flag Sailors just ran over that team fight.
No, Tempest managed to survive, flash away, got out his ultimate, and it's just Diego was CC'd, had no way to get out anymore, just died.
Yeah, and you can see the struggles with this Nebula team composition. It's very wacky. It's very outlandish, you could say, and it does require, you know, a level of aggression. It requires tenacity that kind of forces you to take a lot of these unfavorable fights. But I think, yeah, Black Flag Sailor's team composition, it's very straightforward, it's bog standard, and they are playing it very, very well.
The Ashos hits on your Tempest.
Oh yeah, Ash ult is going to hit. It's come from mid lane, so this stun is probably going to be quite long. Ruzu landing a lot of charges on the needlework. There are Tempest just surviving for now. That's the last one, and Ruzu gets a really, really big shutdown. He's standing in the. He's standing in.
If he just ran one way away from the Victor Corpse, okay, Linus misses
Yeah,
his ult.
Linus misses ult as well, which means a mid lane turret is going to be taken. He's very, very tanky, so feeling confident to just step forward here, frontlining for the rest of Black Flag Sailors. Sanix gets caught, but a really nice flash. Loco is able to just jump out to safety as well. Again, the mid lane turret, no one has to die for it, so this is a really nice disciplined play coming out from Gucci Nebula.
Yeah, they just managed to they managed to catch Tempest in the side lane with the Ash ult. Little dice, but anyway, they still get to push the mid lane with 4 people.
The last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. The Gwen standing in the Victor ult, dying into Malphite just whiffing his on. The sequence. You could have.
We're watching high-level gameplay here.
Yeah, I can hear our producer a little kind of chuckling in the background as well. Yo, someone sent this to what's the highlight YouTubers there? That was kind of funny.
I think it's Jesse. I think Jesse at least did the highlights.
Yeah. Or Synapse.
Is it Synapse? I mean, for the SLE, it's Jesse.
Yeah, I meant like the other one, not that.
The other one.
I don't know. I'm
the
just
bigger
gonna play
one.
I'm gonna play the Asian card and say I can't speak English. Okay, so game is very dead even on gold, not so dead even on objectives and kills, but both of them going either way. What I will say is, right now, what we see is Nebula going for a 1-3-1 setup, understandably so. You have a Gwen and Philia, but Black Flag Sailors just choosing to just group up mid. I think this is kind of their strength, actually, as a team, just like playing ARAM. And they're going to get that mid lane turret for absolutely free. What they do need to be careful of is how much Talia and Gwen can get done on the side lanes.
I mean, Linus is already moving bot side to the Gwen. He will get spotted by the Ash bird here.
Yeah, well, he's going to get traded on. Jesus, okay, yeah, that's a snip. Well, so here's the interesting thing about Gwen, right? It's like, whilst in lane you're not the strongest yet, you get he doesn't even have 2 items. That's 1 item, and you're already starting to shred through the Malphite. Malphite has a lot of MR and heal cut as well. And so for Gwen, she's just going to slowly scale. At what point is Gwen too much to handle on the side lane? Because she only just got her 2nd item.
I mean, the point is kind of reached when Malphite is not allowed to wave clear anymore. Basically,
Yeah.
if he is able to kill the wave under turret fast, then it's still fine to, it's still fine for him to catch the Gwen.
Yeah, well,
the
if you're
Ash
gonna
ulti
collapse
is
oh
gonna hit
my
again.
god! Sanix is going to just snipe him out from Narnia, as Noir Tempest is a professional baseball player, as he's been catching these arrows left, right, and center. He's gonna drop in the top side. They're gonna be able to push through that top lane even more. There is a dragon spawning, and what Nebula can kind of do here is play mind games. Do we want the dragon, or are we just gonna push through this top lane here? Whereas you can see the entire BFS squad are just playing around the bot side, keeping my eyes on the minimap because there could be a potential collapse onto Itchy. He is underneath the turret, so has that safety, has flash as well. He's going to use it, but still gets hit by the Grag Assault. Not sure if he flashed in place or if that was a predicted thing, but yeah, he does eventually drop.
I mean, he managed to deny the knock up into the
There's a Baron
team,
happening
but
though. There's a Baron happening.
Nebula's
Linus
staying, but
is going to
nothing
TP
Baron.
in. This is a numbers disadvantage so far. because there's only 2 members of
Okay.
Black Flag Sailors right now, but they're actually just going to call off the Baron. Black Flag Sailors will be able to grab this Dragon too, so they're going to equalize the Drake score. And this was a really, really nice response from Black Flag Sailors.
Yeah, they play in top lane on your Tempest, who gets caught. Ruzu and Shai pushing the tower. They could have maybe tried to also get the inhibitor turret to just trade the Drake and maybe Ichi's life for the inhib turret and a lot of gold in your pockets. But they decided to not do it and try to do the Baron, called for the Baron.
Yeah,
WTP manages to stop it, but
I think they were banking on Black Flag Sailors kind of just grouping up for the Dragon. But
yeah,
to be fair, like to their credit, Black Flag Sailors, BFS kind of knew we could just get the Kaiser to do it. Well, the rest of us TP in to contest that Baron, and they forced them off. So well played. I think this is a quite closely contested game. Sadly though, for BFS is that Tier 2 turret gives us so much gold that they are actually behind right now, despite being 11 kills to 6.
yeah. I mean, it's also 60 CS in top, almost 70 CS in top lane, 20 in mid.
Yep.
So.
I did not actually see that. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean that might be a that might be it, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
1.7k gold.
That's a lot.
It's also the platings probably. But...
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Forgot about that DP and bot lane. It was. I mean, if it worked, it would have been sick, right?
I mean, yeah. It was probably just could have been a timing issue.
It's gonna hit.
Believe this ult.
It's gonna hit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it is unreal. Sanix is on one today. He just isn't missing. Noir Tempest is gonna dodge away, but not from the Q. As Ruzu just claims that one. A fight is breaking out in the mid lane as Loco is gonna knock up multiple people. Denza gonna combo up Sanix, but surviving with the barrier. Butner goes in with the killer instinct, and this fight is just going so heavily in favor of Black Flag Sailors as Linus comes in with the unstoppable force. And this was not a fight you needed to take with the Gwen pushing on the side lane, which means Ichi now is in threat of 4 members of BFS. That's a beautiful combo as the mid laner of Nebula tries his best, but it isn't enough. But unfortunately, nice fight in the mid lane. You are giving up your inhibitor for this, so I don't know how worth this really was, because the gold league just got worse for BFS.
I mean, it's fine. One inhib is fine, especially if it's in a bot side and the Drake is the next objective you want to play for. If the Baron is super high risk of dying, bot lane inhib is... Right, bot lane inhib dying could be bad, but I don't believe Nebula can just start the Baron. I mean, was kind of well executed from, or the fight was well executed from BSS.
Yeah.
Even if Loco managed to get a good engage on Britna and Ictus. Okay. Double TP.
Yeah, well, oh my god, a seismic shove from Ichi is catching everyone from Black Flag Sailors. Nebula are just randomly winning out hard in a team fight after losing consecutive fights in a row. But the difference maker is Ichi landing the seismic shove. It's Ruzu arriving to the fight with a massive amount of gold in his pocket. That's going to be Baron secured for absolutely free as Nebula finally this game win out on a big fight.
I mean, Nebula being on the same ward, like both solo laners being on the same ward, and yeah, both solo laners being on the same ward. BFS just didn't know it was 2 people. Ichi was fast enough to run away. Yuzu could E over the wall, and then a 3-man seismic shot into the stun from the rocks, and the Gwen ulti was just too much damage. Forbidden Denza.
Absolutely massive from the solo laners of Aguchi Nebula. What a combo from Ichi. And yeah, I mean, we didn't actually see the initial TP to kind of make that happen, but yeah, like you said, I can imagine it was just the double TP from both Ichi and Ruzu, getting a really nice position on the fight and then just landing their abilities. It was as simple as that. And yeah, I mean, Baron now in their hands. I think this dragon is going to be really hard. Okay, okay. At least
First
now
miss
we
Ashel.
at least we know he's not scripting. But Linus now in trouble. Does have the ultimate and has to use it defensively to get away. So that's gonna be rough considering that the dragon spawns in 10 seconds. They won't have the Malphite ult for that.
Nebula not really managing to do anything right now with the Baron. At least,
Yep.
I mean, they got the tier 2 in mid lane, but then recalled after. And now
Yeah.
they still have 1 minute 30 on the Baron buff left. Looking to push in top and mid lane at the same time. EG playing really safe so you can't get caught here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really, really big Baron push now. If they can get a lot here, it's going to put them in a fantastic winning position. Bruzu just eradicates that turret in the top side. That mid lane turret is very low in HP. Ictus is looking for something. Does tag Loco with a Q. He's just going to jump away with the W. The Dragon's still available on the bottom side, but I love what Nebula are doing here. If any teams are watching this, guys, this is how you play with Baron when the Dragon is open. You push through the turrets because that is the strength of the Baron buff. The Hand of Baron does, like, I don't even know if it does give combat stats. You don't use it to fight. Like,
It gives you AP. It gives you AP.
Oh, sick. Okay, well,
Sure.
you use the Baron to take the... I mean, you take Dragon on exit after you push through the turrets, and, well, Linus does have that ultimate back up, and Noir Tempest just in base for now, and you can see the struggle, right, with the Gwen being as strong as she is. They're just kind of going top, going mid. It looks like BFS just don't really know how to defend this Baron push, and they're going to lose the Dragon as well.
I mean, it's also rough because BFS basically has one strong sideline in the Victor, but Nebula has two, and with Gwen and Talia, both being able to just push in a wave, hit the turret, and even threaten a kill.
Yeah.
I believe BFS should send the Victor to catch a Gwen, even if he managed to die before. But it's only, but I believe all the times he died, or most of the times he died, it was just because of the Ash ulti. And we have a game pause. Don't know from which team.
Yeah, we do have a game pause. Yeah, BFS Ictus is the one pausing. I'm assuming there's some sort of internet problems or lag. But yeah, the game is very, very close right now. Sorry, the game was very, very close in the mid game. It was like, I think Black Flag Sailors were winning fight after fight after fight. They were fighting fantastic engagers, but I think they definitely failed to deal with the growing problem of Gwen just chilling in side lane all by herself. She became massively fed, and now they are in a
I
very
mean,
good
it was
position.
still a close game until they had the Baron fight. With
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. No, it was definitely. I mean, it was a very close game considering the gold lead, but I think for me, when you are getting that many kills in fights, it's like, what are we doing after we get the kills? And it's like, yes, you killed 3 people, but the Gwen's pushed 3 turrets. Is it worth it? Kind of thing. It's like, yeah, I think Black Flag Sailors, they're definitely not out of the game, right? They've lost one team fight out of like loads in a row, so they're not necessarily. It's not necessarily doomed. It's just
I mean,
it's extremely difficult now.
we're slowly getting to the point where just one team fight can basically mean the game is finished.
Yeah.
It looks like we're getting back into the game. At least I hear Braum hitting a ward or something. Not a
Yeah, I
ward.
mean, there's usually like this is Riot still haven't fixed their client. There's usually like this thing where if you if there's a pause and then the spectator like resumes, the screen will just freeze. No apparent reason. Yeah, I mean, we're back into the game. Thank God, because I was craving some League of Legends.
Assault and Büttner.
Assault is gonna hit. Okay, let's talk about these Assaults because they are suspicious, if I do say so myself.
I mean, the ones across the map were
They were
kind of
unreal.
suspicious.
No, I'm being sarcastic, but like,
Yeah,
it's obviously not.
it's fine.
But
is
no,
he?
they've been. I don't think so. I mean, at least I don't know. But no, the Assaults have been fantastic, kind of cross map, landing basically. I think I've only seen one miss this whole game.
BFS decides to just walk down mid lane at 4 people.
Yeah, well, they are doing it, and as you said, one more team fight could just end this game right here and right now. Ruzu late on the recall, so
Yeah,
what?
they got an inhib.
What? Ashol. Bruno doesn't have cleanse. He doesn't have cleanse. He doesn't flash away from that. Loco is going to go in. He gets 2 people with the
Loco's
knockup. But Talia is not
Minus.
there. The unstoppable force is fantastic. Loco's the first one to die. Ruju's still very strong. Stepping forward. 1 versus 4 for now. Shy is going to miss out on the W. Goes into the miss. It's tagged by that Void Seeker. And that fight, again, won by BFS. And, damn. Oh my god, whoa, fight's not over. No, our Tempest is going to be trapped down by the Weaver's Wall, but he does do a lot of return damage, so doesn't even have to use the flash. I feel like they were a little bit scared there. No Gwen equals no fight, it seems, for Gucci Nebula. And, well, apparently, guys, if you're losing, just run mid as 5 and take inhib.
Yeah.
Allegedly, of course.
The Ashlow is hitting a bit now here. Line is after Loco E's out. Line's managed to hit 3 people here. Fenix flashes out. And after that, it's just the Victor ult denying Ruzu any further damage or any further chase. And even making him use the Seeker's Arm Guard. So
Yeah.
Ruzu doesn't have that available for the next fight, except if he gets Zhonya's finished.
Yeah, he doesn't, and it's a really, really nice look right now for Black Flag Sailors. And again, it's like I said, yes, it's not over yet. You've only lost 1 team fight out of loads, so it's not a doom and gloom situation. But this is kind of where it does get really difficult, is when the Gwen is on the side, kind of soaking Noir Tempest. That's a lot of magic damage for BFS, but I mean, he's got loads of wave clear, so he should be fine. And yeah, right now the game is neck and neck once again.
Yeah, both teams right now looking to prepare the vision around the Baron, so the other team just can't just start it, and maybe you can start it yourself, without the other team knowing. Just a bit of dance. Gwyneth, kinda low in bot lane.
Oh no,
Itchy's
no, our
defeating him.
Tempest is actually just
It's
going to get
Spencer
the straight up
Cancel?
solo kill. Itchy is here. Is he going to outplay in the 1v2? Itchy's missing every Q. No, our Tempest just styles on the solo laners of Gucci Nebula as a fight is breaking out in the mid lane. Denza misses the E flash. If Gucci Nebula lose this, they are going to lose the game, as it looks like Black Flag Sailors, they're feeling confident to just send it down into the mid lane. And, well, there are only 3 members of Nebula here to defend this one.
Tempest has
They
TP.
could just lose the game right here, right now. Noir Tempest does have TP. He's going to channel that into the mid lane. Loco does have everything he has. He's going to go in with the engage, knocks up 3. Shy still looking for that first reset. Denza, very low HP. Sanix is the carry for this one for Nebula. The knockup is going to land the first kill as Sanix gets 1 onto Denza. The unstoppable force comes in. Sanix staying alive for now. And Shy just is hanging around by the turret, not doing any damage and not finding a reset. The Nexus is now open. He does get 1 kill. The resets are alive, but the Nexus is gone. Black Flag Sailors win out the fight. And they win this game.
I mean, Ruzu decided to trade his life for the inhib, and Ichi decided to trade his life for the game.
The problem, the problem with that play is Victor. When Talia TP's in, Victor was like what, maybe 1 combo from death, and none of the Talia Qs hit, and he just 2v1 them, and then BFS just ended the game. It was as simple as that. And for me, what I'm really confused of, and I feel like this was the game-winning play, was as you're losing, you just send 5 people mid and you get an inhib for free. That, in my opinion, is kind of what won the game here for BFS. I mean, obviously, that outplay from Noir Tempest is fantastic, but, I mean, the swing of momentum was that mid lane push as 5, which I mean, it's kind of funny that it worked. We were kind of just like, I don't know if your comment of them just apparently were just group 5 was like a jokey one, but hey, they got an A of it and they won the game.
I mean, they decided they can't really deal with Ruzu in the side lane. So before Ruzu was in any position to threaten any turrets, threaten the base, they decided to just run it down mid, get the inhib turret and the inhib. Because if like Faxelas is together as 5 and Ruzu is not there, is not able to join in any way, they always win the fight.
Yeah. Well, that was not how I expected the game to end. But do you got an MVP? I mean, it's no more.
I mean, for
that one, right?
For the solo kills in the end,
Yeah,
it's gotta be No Tempest.
It's gotta be No Tempest. Well, we congratulate Black Flag Sailors for going 1-0 up. This is a best of 3, so now Gucci Nebula, they'll have to go back to the drawing board to figure out what went. I mean, you don't really need to. I think they know what went wrong. But yeah, we'll head to a quick break as we return for game 2.
I lied awake for days, counting all the ways I died. Everything I couldn't save, buried down, still half alive. It's got me crawling in my skin, but no one's coming out to hold me close. Pouring out the gasoline, yeah, I've been making friends with all these girls, and I got nothing left to lose. Fight to the future. It's not me to turn and run. Met the bitter truth and I choked it down. Left a bad taste on my tongue, but my appetite's been growing now. I can see you crawling in your skin, but no one's coming out to hold you close. I'm pouring out the gasoline, so say hello to all my ghosts.
恋しくて星に願うのまた会えるよね
Hello, welcome back everyone to the SLE stream, the playoffs round. First blood drawn over to the side of Black Flag Sailors. I don't want to use the term fantastic game because it was definitely messy. But how would you conclude their victory?
I mean, they won their fights. They had basically one fight they lost and
Yeah,
won all of the others.
I mean that is 100% correct. They did win the majority. I mean, yeah, they won the majority of the team fights. I think the funny thing about the SLE, and this is why I think it's such an interesting league to watch, is that in many other worlds, that game after that fight at Baron is kind of just over. It is just a slow, methodical closeout from that point onwards. But we're in the SLE, so you can also just group up as 5 in mid lane and get the inhib, and then also Victor beats Gwen and Talia in a 1v2.
At first pick again.
So yeah,
Dragon's
Kai'Sa,
taken out.
yeah, Kai'Sa is first pick. And really important thing, you mentioned that when Denza gets kills early, he does tend to carry the game. And he definitely got kills early. So what's the plan now for Nebula?
Okay, yeah. They take away the Kai'Sa. Seems like both teams really favor this. Sejuani Yone. No, Tempest has played a lot of Yone. I don't think Denza has played a lot of Sejuani, but she's not the most difficult jungler to perform on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Udyr.
The most difficult. Udyr is being hovered. I really like this pick. I think last game, Shai definitely had better pathing than Denza. I think what he struggled with was how to play these fights, and it's very difficult for the Viego. You saw in that last fight there, like, I don't know if he felt nervous, but I felt like if he had just gone forward and just tried to look for one reset, they probably end up winning that fight. But, you know, Viego is a squishy character. You get tagged with one bit of CC, you're going to die. So, understandably so, you put yourself on a champion with a bit more tankiness, with a bit more reliability in terms of staying alive in these fights. What's your opinions on Udyr right now?
I mean, at least in 2 patches ago, Udyr and Skarner were the 2 strongest junglers. So basically, if you should have prior both of these champions. Udyr got a bit nerfed, but he's still strong. What got nerfed by from Udyr is basically mostly his clear and his items. And yeah, I mean, the clear speed from Udyr got down. K'Sante also picked up. Ruzu is one of the best K'Sante champions.
Who's really going to K'Sante? K'Sante has been changed in recent times. It's not so much the flashy, high mobility assassin style tank champion we used to see. He's now turned into a bit of like a burst bruiser. The W damage has been increased a lot. They pumped up the numbers on his spells as well. Vayne is locked in. Yes, it is locked in. So the Vayne is there. Now, it's a really good pick into the K'Sante and the Udyr. It's even pretty good into the Kai'Sa. I think even Kai'Sa is one of the champions that can't necessarily punish Vayne's weak early game. What I'm a little bit concerned right now, though, is Black Flag Sailors are fielding a lot of AD. There's little to no AP at the current moment in time, and there's a lot of tanks. While Vayne doesn't struggle necessarily into that, neither does Yone, really. It just does mean that if the fights are fast, if Nebula decide to round up their team composition with a bit more burst, then Black Flag Sailors could definitely struggle big time in this game.
Yeah.
Never mind. No burst. Rise Actually, I will say Rise is very good into Vayne because you just press EW and she's kind of just point and click CC'd. The Nautilus as well is a really nice pickup.
Alawi.
Alawi.
Full 80. Yeah, it's full 80 for Sailors.
Okay.
I was thinking, does Linus play Gwen? Maybe a bit, but I don't think he will pick it. But,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
okay. So the problem now, where Vayne kind of thrives in, is a lot of the times like she wants to just shred through tanks, front to back, but she is also like quite difficult to play in terms of if you get caught with anything, then you are in a world of trouble. Right now, we're seeing a team composition from BFS where Yone wants to be on side lane. Alawi doesn't like. Alawi's rented her own condominium in a different country. Like that's how isolated she wants to be. And so Vayne is kind of just alone with a Braum and a Sejuani, which isn't bad, but it could be difficult when a Nautilus ult gets dropped on top of you. You're just locked in place with the Rise W. So yeah, what do you think of the two team compositions?
I mean, players want to play the side lanes because both Yon and Alawi win. But the 3-3 with Seju, Braum, and Vayne could be really rough. Especially if Nautilus manages to ult the Vayne and CC chain her into the
Yeah.
Udyr Sun and Udyr ulti.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is... It's an interesting draft, because whilst the Black Flag Sailors draft is not the best, I'm kind of looking at their champions against Nebula's champions. I think one initial point of concern is Yone into Rise. Rise destroys Yone in lane. Rise really does well into melee matchups because you can just drop the E onto the minions and it's probably going to hit Yone. So,
Yeah.
like, Rise wants to farm, he can just farm and he's going to, by farming, he's going to accidentally poke out the Yone. Like, that's kind of why Rise is good. Good into Akali, good into Yone. I think Aurelia is the one melee mid laner that he can struggle against, but is in general still fine. So yeah, I do think... I mean, we'll just have to see how top lane goes. I don't know too much about this matchup. Do you know anything about Kusante into Alawi?
I'm not really familiar with the direct matchup, but I believe Linus played Alawi enough times that he could have played against Cassandra a lot, like at least a few times. So he should be able to pilot this matchup. And I
Yeah.
don't believe he would have picked Alawi if it was a really shit matchup. Even if he got baited into 3 melee champions and 2 low range carries.
I mean, we all know the stories about Linus's Alawi. It's feared in the SLE. My memory of Linus's Alawi was that play against Captain's Camille in the finals. So I have a different opinion of it to others. But it is obviously a comfort pick for him. He's picked it in R5 for a reason. Now, a reminder, Black Flag Sailors, they are on match point. They are 1 game away from winning out in this series. And victory here progresses them further. Nebula have to go down to the losers bracket. And you are currently playing under the A&G banner. Out of these two teams, is there one that you would prefer to face in the next round?
I would prefer to face the Sailors. At least like, for us, Nebula can be a bit of a struggle.
Yep.
Maybe if we play with a full roster and not with a few mental booms 5 minutes into the first game of the series, it should be easier, but
Hey, don't reveal your weakness.
I mean, it's not really happening, like it's not really common in the last months. Like we didn't really have any of the mental struggles or communication struggles we normally had in the last season.
I mean, you are a very, very strong roster in the league. I think you are being touted as the favorite so far by many people. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see, of course. Draft is completed. I do think... is there a draft you would say is easier to play than the other one?
Nebula should be easy. I mean, yeah, Nebula should be easier. Yeah.
Mhm.
Nebula should be easier because you have a better damage profile. You have range. You have CC.
Yeah.
You have some side. You also have some side lane. You have team fight. So you basically
Yeah.
have everything you kind of want. But BFS just has we CC the front line and kill the front line and then kill the next one,
Yeah.
or we just split push and it's just split push top and bot. And if
Yeah.
you want to fight us, try it.
Try your best. I mean, they do have a lot of tools. I think the one thing I'm kind of looking towards is Vayne should have a fantastic game here. I will say though, this Rise pick is a bit of a stroke of genius. Like Rise does fantastic here. Rise is also very difficult to kill. It's got a good matchup into the Yone. I think the lack of AP might come to haunt Black
Yeah.
Flag Sailors, because right now, if you're Udyr and Cassante, right, you just itemize straightly
Full armor.
armor. You just build armor. Like Vayne has a lot of armor shred, sure, but she's single target damage. Same with I mean, Alawi and Yone have a bit more AoE, but in a similar vein, they're gonna focus one target, then get to the next. If you're both just stacked with armor, the Rising Kaiser will just get through the front line faster than the Yone and the Vayne. So, yeah, I think that is where Nebula kind of strive. In terms of gameplay, what was, for you, the biggest concern from both teams from that last game?
Ooh. Yeah, from Sailors was biggest concern in the last game was basically how they answered the side lanes. But it should probably not be the same problem in this game. Because the Ryze and the Cassandra don't have the same tower push that the Gwen has.
Yeah.
So basically the biggest concern on the Sailor side is mitigated just by the champion picks. Ooh, for Nebula, I believe maybe the Malphite ult, but Malphite is not in this game again. What was it? Yeah.
Oh,
Basically,
I mean,
just don't take the fights like, yeah. They
Yeah.
caught in the situation where they caught someone in the side lane, and then just decided to 3v4 fight or 4v4 fight in mid lane immediately after.
I mean, your point of how Black Flag Sailors kind of strive in these chaotic games was really evident in that game, because it was like, I mean, if I think about all of the fights they took, I was like, there shouldn't even be a fight right now. But because of their ability to just suck their opponents into these scenarios, that's where they kind of get the advantage. And I think for Nebula, they just need to be careful to not get sucked into these fights where it's like, I think there are a few fights where it's like, Gwen is literally just pushing turrets right now, or like, you've already got the objective, just get out. You don't need to fight anymore. But then they continue or decide to continue fighting, and that's where Black Flag Sailors kind of won out or got the edge over Gucci Nebula. So, yeah, that is kind of as simple as it gets, right? I think what we saw last game was that Nebula clearly have a bit more of a macro play about them. They have a bit more understanding of how to play the map. I think when we hit the 10-minute mark, when it was just like 0-0 in kills and nothing was happening, I was looking at the CS leads in every single lane. I was looking at the gold lead, and I was like, if Nebula just keep doing this, they just win. But then it goes back to the strengths of Black Flag Sailors, of how they can just force you into these chaotic fights, and then it's like, oh, they don't win because they're getting sucked into these fights. You know, we're keeping bot in a 1v2 and somehow losing that, and then that's where Black Flag Sailors win. I think the strength of this roster is that against the adversity where you're not supposed to be winning, they somehow managed to do it. So, I mean, it's props to them.
Yeah.
Are you watching Worlds? I wonder what.
I only have one screen, so if I want to watch Worlds, I have to tap out.
Whilst we're waiting for the game to start, if you're watching Worlds, if anyone's watching Worlds, oh my god, it is absolute. I have it on my second screen. Jesus, it's crazy. Who are you supporting?
I kinda don't want NA to do so much better than EU. So I
Because, I
hope
mean,
Genji
if you-
wins, but
if you think about it, their team is majority of it is EU.
yeah.
I think
mean,
we're ready
this-
to go into game.
Yeah.
Oh! Alright, we can maybe continue this conversation over our coffee date later. But for now... Thanks, Pepper. Appreciate the laugh.
No level 1 shenanigans in this game.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't expect any of that, any to be. I think, well... this game, does anything happen in the early game? What do you think?
Hmm.
Minions have spawned.
There should be a lot of at least fighting in top lane. I mean, in the last game, it didn't. There wasn't really anything. But then this time has a more gank-heavy champion, so maybe he tries to just force something in bot lane. Then Fenix also doesn't have cleanse, so if they manage to get onto him with the Braum and the Sejuani, you have a lot of CC to just lock him down. And there's also Ryze in mid lane who doesn't have any escape tools aside from his flash and his ult later in the game. So there should be something happening, at least in bot side of the map, from the BFF side.
Yep.
I should probably look to just counter gank.
Yeah.
So just mirror the Sejuani wherever Sejuani is going, go on the same side. Because if Shy and Seju are both in a game, or both in a fight, Udyr is the one who comes out on top.
Yeah,
Normally,
definitely.
at least.
Definitely. Well, what we saw in the last game was Shy was extremely efficient in his pathing. I think this time around it's a bit more equal here, as they should be doing opposing clears. Sejuani going towards bot lane, Shy going towards top lane. Seems like Shy is again a little bit faster over Denza. So, yeah, really interesting point, right? Is you mentioned the fact that Denza thrived in the situation where he's playing mages on in the jungle. I think Gragas, whilst not necessarily a mage, you know, kind of fits under that heavy AP damage playstyle. On the Sejuani, a completely different look. How do you think he's going to do this game?
I mean, he should be able to hit some ultis at least. I hope.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not he will not look the most practice on it, but
I will say,
should be able to get something off.
yeah, I will say, top lane CS already. Kind of leaning towards the Cassante. Again, I don't know enough about this matchup, but I'm assuming it's Alawi favored if it was picked into the Cassante. But again, I doubt anything will happen too much in the early game. If last game had nothing happening in the early game, then I think this is going to be even worse in terms of activity. So, yeah. What's your favorite cuisine?
My favorite cuisine.
I doubt there's much for us to talk about gameplay-wise. So
Yes.
gonna...
I mean, there's also not a lot for me to talk about food. But probably
you don't
like self-made fast food. Self-made
No.
burger.
You don't cook? Do you cook?
Not really. No.
No
I
way.
mean, I just
If-
don't put in the time and just.
If you had to make something, what would you get?
If I had to make something,
Yeah.
probably
gonna
like
say something.
something with noodles, but
Oh, okay. What, like...
like pasta.
Okay. I thought you were, like, going for some Asian food there. That would have been interesting.
I mean, I like at least the German Asian food variations that I.
Ooh, what's German Asian food?
I mean, it's probably not original Asian, but like,
Mm-hmm.
how's it called? Fried rice and shit.
No, fried rice is Asian. Fried rice is Asian.
Yeah, I mean it's Asian, but it's more Germanized to the German cuisine.
Oh, I see.
So
Fair
like
enough.
every country basically has their own Asian food.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it's if you go to an Asian restaurant in Italy, it's probably not gonna be the same as in the US.
Yeah. Have you seen what British Chinese food is?
No.
So what they do, right, is they just get like chips, like fries basically,
Yeah.
and they just put like salt and pepper on it. They like fry it in a wok. They'll put chicken and then curry sauce, and that's Chinese food in England. When I first got here and discovered that, oh my god, I saw a hook in the bot side. Oh, yeah. Why did I even think anything was gonna happen anyway? Yeah, when I first got here and saw like what they consider to be Chinese food here, it was scary to say the least. It's like, could you imagine if in Asia, right, we just like instead of a burger with beef in it, we just stuck like a chopstick in it instead. Like, it's just not. We just put fried rice in a burger and we said, do you want some American food? It was like,
Just some oil and oil
yep.
and fry it.
Isn't that kind of just what American food is?
I mean, a lot of American variations of other food is basically just you get you like for example, yeah, it's like you get the base idea of the food, what you could get to make the food for real, and then you deep fry it.
I see. Well, technically, have you heard of a deep fried Mars bar?
Yes.
Okay, so that's Scottish. Yeah, that's Scottish food.
I mean, the British Isles are not really known for the high-level cuisine.
Yeah, seasoning is not really a thing over here. Well, I will say, there's a lot of nice restaurants in London. The actual just British cuisine is just not very good. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah.
But
I mean, when you have a big city with a lot of money coming in, there
true.
would probably be...
Do you study economics?
No.
Oh, that was good analysis of macroeconomics, though. Anyway, so we're almost reaching the 10-minute mark, and as prophesized, nothing's happened. Which would you say that this benefits one side more than the other?
I think it should be pretty even across the board.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Maybe.
the fact that there is no AP for Black Flag Sailors means that, okay, there might be some action here. Shy is getting caught with the Glacial Prison, but Itchy is just going to root Noir Tempest in place, and, well, that's the strength of the Rise into Melee champions. It literally stops you from playing the game, and Shy's just going to get out, does have to use the flash, but Zenza can have to use the ulti.
If No Tempest managed to get out his ulti there, they could have maybe tried to kill Shy, especially after he already used the flash. But the Rise route stopped that from happening.
Whoa, Ruzu going aggressive. Forces the flash. As Linus is going to get that summoner spell. Ruzu, I think, was looking for the ultimate, but I think he doesn't have enough mana. And then Shy, looking for a potential gank, does have that burn item already. Getting the flash out of Linus too. So flash is blown. Finally, we get some action. No one dies though.
Yeah. I mean, Linus managed to use the unstoppable part of the Ilaoi ulti to deny the knockback. Because if Ruzu managed to get the Q knockback into his W into the ulti, Linus would have been under turret and probably died, even if he had flash.
Yep. No, definitely agree. So well done to Linus for playing that one out. Let's take a look across the board at the farm numbers. Bot lane kind of even for now. This wave is going to crash into Sanic, so it should be slightly equalized. I think he missed a few of those ones actually, but yeah, he's I guess he's a wave down, so Bitner is ahead in bot side. In the mid lane, Itchy is pretty far ahead. Ruzu ahead on top side. But with that flash blown and that wave looking pretty bad for Ruzu, he's getting ganked. But yeah, Cassante does have ult. He's going to go into the all out, uses the W to get away. A TP channeled by Itchy just in case anything else happened. And yeah, he's going to survive. They used a lot of tools, and now Butner is kind of exposed on the bottom side. And I'm seeing Shy making a move over to that bot lane turret. I think this could be a potential dive here. There is a teleport for the Yone, so Black Knight Sailors want to defend their Vayne in this situation. They would want to exercise that summoner spell.
Loco has ult.
Comes in. Loco does go in with the ultimate.
TP.
The teleport is coming through. Butner is not surviving for long enough, though. Here comes the Fate Seal. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade instead, as now our Tempest is going to hit the spells and get the kills out for BFS. They even get a solo kill in the top side. Best top laner in SLE. Yeah, nice joke, buddy, as Linus is just going to smack Ruzu with some tentacles. We all know how Asians enjoy that one. Oh, God, why did I say that? Itchy getting ganked into mid lane by Ictus. He's not going to get stunned up. He's actually going to feel confident to go forward with those EQs. Denza has the ultimate, is holding it for now. Itchy feeling confident. I'm assuming he's waiting for the W. Oh, I think that was so close from the timing out. Does that actually get the stun? As I think the E was just clocked out.
I believe he didn't even use the E. He used WQ.
Yeah, sorry, the W. I meant he could have got the root, but I think the E timed out. That's what I meant.
Oh yeah, maybe it's...
Yeah, but no, Black Sailors, they want to contest this dragon, evidently, by the way they are standing. But Denza and Ictus both chunked to half HP. Itchy is here. Linus doesn't have TP, whereas Ruzu does. So this approach might look a bit dicey for Black Flag Sailors. They are waiting for that Yone ultimate as well. Buna doesn't have the final hour either. Hook gonna land, and a really nice counter engage from the Brom Noir. Tempest is gonna knock out loads of people. Shy's already dead. Alex is going in. He's kiting back 3 people. The roam up is gonna be channeled. Dredgeline gonna tag onto Ictus. Itchy did not take the rise ult. Wait.
Yeah, seems like he decided not to take it, try to finish the Drake, or he just thought there's no way they can win the fight. Especially with Whitman still having ultimate and almost being full life.
I was almost certain if that Rise ult came in, it would have just like destroyed everyone with the AoE damage that the Rise can do. You see, yeah, I mean, very messy fight, I will say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have killed everyone there, no?
I believe he wouldn't be able to kill Whitman.
Maybe.
Would have at least gotten Denza and maybe even denied the Drake.
Oh. I mean, Ilawi lanes kind of happen like this, right? You're going to get a solo kill, but you also probably end up dying yourself. So, I mean, that's kind of normal. Denza, in the top side, should be able to just claim this one for... No.
Nope.
No. God damn! God damn, Ruzu. That was pretty fancy. So he's going to get out with a 1-for-1. 1-for-0, sorry. So at least... that is pretty good for him. There seems to be some sort of collapse. Iptis, you are all alone. I think he's bluffing though. Shy is just man-marking Denza in the bush. And Denza has to try to get out of here. Loco chucked down to low HP. Denza has to jump over. And Shy is just stepping forward. The burn from the Udyr. Too powerful. Dredgeline not going to land onto Butner, but he's a bit too scared. So just didn't go any further forward. And it's, again, a 1-for-0 in favor of Nebula in the mid lane.
Ictus was just too early there with no Tempest going in. Managed to hit the ult and
confused.
Phoenix, but just gets knocked up. And
Oh my god!
They get killed.
Yeah, they get the kill. Butner gets the condemn against the wall, but he goes too far forward. He gets hooked underneath the turret as Loco, with a dying breath, catches the Vayne. And a kill over to Shy. And in a messy fight, I don't really know the numbers of who won out. But I'm looking at the gold lead. And, well, Nebula are ahead.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the platings. At least how many platings fell would be pretty even, except for bot lane turrets. Yeah. No, Tempest managed to hit, the ulti onto Fennec, but then just got locked up under the turret.
Yeah.
Just got looked up and the turret in his dying breath managed to get out the Q and
Yeah, he
Still
did.
not done.
Linus
Okay.
getting ulted here. Oh, he's going to drag him all the way to the turret. Did flash away from the W, so big chunky damage did not land. But the flash from the Alawi is blown. Now, here comes the approach of the Rift Herald. Ruzu does have TP, so he can just channel the recall and TP back if he wants to contest this. Now, the blue trinket is being used to spot out the fact that Black Flag Sailors are on this objective. But they are not going to contest. Instead, Ruzu's just going to TP into the bot side, defend that turret, and it will just go back to the lanes.
I mean, it was 4 people in top side from Black Flag Sailors, while No Tempest was just pushing on the turret. So if Ryuzu decides to TP in top lane, you lose a lot of waves in bot lane and the turret. So maybe it would have been, or wouldn't have been a worth trade, even if you go for it.
Yeah,
So Ryuzu decided to just TP bot.
Yeah, he doesn't. They've sent Itchy to deal with Alawi, but Itchy taking an E to the face, meaning he's gonna take a... Okay, apparently Demolish is broken, so that turret doesn't exist anymore. God damn.
I mean, it's also after 14 minutes, so
Yeah, true.
the turret doesn't have any resistances.
Yeah, no resistances on the turret, meaning it does drop. Big advantage for Black Flag Sailors. They get a big swing of gold here. They're going to try push through this mid lane wave. Okay, Dredgeline going to tag onto Denza. The Sejuani has to use the Glacial Prison to lock down Loco and get away. And in a game where it just feels like it's so defensive from both sides, none of these teams are risking anything at this point. I think for Black Flag Sailors, you're just waiting for that Vayne power spike. I'm not too well informed onto when exactly that is. I'm assuming when Rageblade is locked in, that is where Vayne can just run through this game. What do you think the power spike for Nebula is going to be?
I mean, Ryze has 2 items right now. Kaiser should have a Q upgrade. Is there really a good power spike?
I'm surprised.
Maybe the second item from Kaiser, but yeah.
I'm surprised that the Kaiser is not that far behind the Vayne in terms of the items. I don't know in terms of the gold. I'm assuming Vayne is very far ahead in terms of gold, but item-wise, kind of matching. The Dragon is going to get started up here. Rift Herald spawned into the mid lane as well. That's just going to create an extra layer of pressure for Gucci Nebula as Ruzu has found a really nice flank. He's going to take that Vayne over the wall. Misses out on the W as a fight on the other side. It's just breaking out. Ruzu is going to be in the face of a 1v2, but the Dragon stolen away by Shy. Ruzu has 1 HP left remaining, and he is going to drop. That's a 2-man knockup coming out from Ictus. Loco has to hook himself back to the turret. Noir Tempest only catches 1 with the Fate Sealed, and he's going to die. Itchy and Sanix are free hitting completely as the Qs from the Rise are doing so much work right now. Sanix staying alive, but his ultimate has timed out. Itchy gets 1 onto Denza. He's going to get 2. He's going to get maybe 3 as he doesn't. Buna manages to outplay the Rise as he gets the stun onto the wall. And it is more kills into the pocket of the Vayne, but at the end of the day, it is Gucci Nebula that managed to win out the team fight. They even got themselves the Dragon. And overall, it was a big win in favor of Gucci Nebula.
Yeah, Ruzu decided to just ult out the Vayne, so Vayne wasn't in the fight anymore. Ictus decided to join him. But after that, it's... No, Tempest is really low. Has to force out the flash from Loco. Shy survives longer than he should have. Senix is really close to also getting stunned here. Because I believe if Linus manages to get the last auto attack on Senix, so he gets stunned inside his ultimate, the fight could have been really different.
Yeah, I think Itchy flashing away there when he was kind of full HP was definitely... I mean, I felt like if he had stood his ground and just thrown an extra rotation, it could have been, honestly, the difference maker there. But unfortunately, wasn't the case. They did, you know, all in all, end up winning the fight and getting the Dragon anyway. Is Ruzu? He's gonna knock up onto Linus. Oh god, is it one of those moments where Linus doesn't hit a single spell? He's gonna use the ultimate, gets hit by the W. Oh no, it's happening again. It's a borderline replay of Season 3 finals. Not exactly in the same way, because I mean, the game's different now. So if you get hit with 3 spells, you kind of just die. So that's kind of what happened there. Yeah.
It's kind of stupid.
He's pretty.
The W in all out form does so much damage.
It's a bit too much here. Yeah. Well, not the best look, as now they will have to concede this bot lane wave. Rizzu getting his second solo kill of the game. I think Linus has picked one up for himself. And well, what's scary, right, is that you want to put the Alawi alone on the side lane, but if your Alawi doesn't win, then you kind of don't want to do that, as a hook is going to land onto Ictus, and well, with Linus having just died, he's going to have to go back to the bot wave. He can, of course, TP into this fight, but both top laners missing the ultimates. The Fate Seal is catching onto the rise. He did use that flash earlier, but the Baron secured the Realm Warp, taking everyone away to safety. Ruzu now kiting back. He's going to get a 2-man knockup. He does have that W, brings in Linus to the rest of the team, as Itchy might be able to finish him off, but Butner is going crazy, and Shy now starting to slow everyone up in the back line. Denza staying alive, but now he's dead. Dredgeline onto the Vayne, and Butner falls. Gucci Nebula, much more dominant in the fights this game around. And that rumble from Itchy was so beautiful. The timing could not have been better. Smiting the Baron, getting away, forcing the rest of Black Flag Sailors to chase you into the jungle. And they just win out on the team fight.
Well, so an early smite by Shy. So
That was crazy.
early smite, but there's still no damage from Black Flag Sailors to steal the Drake. It was really awkward to fight into this choke point, because Denza decided to engage onto Xanax. Xanax was able to ult away and use the blast cone to survive, and after that it's just frontline is too tanky.
Yep, frontline was a little bit too tanky, but I mean, again, similarly, Black Flag Sailors, these fights aren't that one-sided. They are close. Like, if without that Rise ultimate, right, this is probably a sweep, because the Fate Sealed caught onto the Rise, but I think Itchy just played that beautifully, and so it's not exactly over yet. I think Black Flag Sailors, they definitely have a dog in this fight, and this next dragon could be crucial for the rest of the game.
I mean, it's impossible Ocean or Soul
Wait,
Point.
Loco
Locus
is
getting
getting
caught here, has
shredded
to
here.
flash out.
Yeah, he does eventually
Managed
flash
to do
out
so.
hook to the wall as well. Now on Tempest using that E to get over. I think interesting thing here. I'm curious to see if Nebula are willing to just give this dragon up and just push through the mid lane wave, which it does seem like they are doing. I really, really like this call in the sense that, like, this isn't a soul. You're better off just getting down and in here, but they actually just need to stick to the call. Instead, they're getting sucked in by Linus, and it's the same thing as last game. Like, you can't get sucked in by one Ilaoi. They are going to go towards the top side here. Sorry, it's an Ocean Dragon. To be fair, in this game, Ocean Salt doesn't have that much value considering the fights kind of go. They at least get the top lane turret. But I feel like the game plan there, just go for that mid inhib. Don't try to kill the Alawi, and yeah, it's the same thing of getting sucked in by what BFS are doing.
Problem with just going for the mid inhib if the Ilaoi is there, especially with the Yone TP, you basically get kinda like, what's it called? Not in a choke point.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You get sandwiched between the Yone and the Ilaoi,
Pincer.
which can pincer.
Yeah.
It can be
I got you, bro. Don't worry
really
about it.
scary. So,
I'll send you my paper for this consultation.
okay, 10 cents.
10
10
cents.
cents per word.
10 cents per words. Yeah, but you were really stuck on that word, so I'm charging an extra.
I mean,
I'm
I
charging
suck at talking.
2%. No, you're doing great. Don't say that about yourself.
Now, my problem is I don't remember the words a lot of times. Like, maybe I know what I want to say, but I don't know how it's said.
It's not your first language, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like even in German.
Oh no, Ictus is getting hooked here. I'm not even sure why he's stepping up. Death charge tagged onto the Braum. He's gonna miss everyone with the Glacial Prison. Oh, this is not a good look for the Braum, as he's also gonna get his jungler potentially killed. As Denza now has to flash away. The Realm Warp was interrupted. I'm trying to see. Oh, actually no, it wasn't. I'm blind. Sorry. That was not a Braum play to be remembered. Oh my god, Loco! Speaking of support highlights, that definitely is one as the Dredge line tagged onto Bootner. He does have to trade his life for it, but there's 3 members. Oh, Black Flash Sailor's dead. They have to give up the mid inhibitor, and Ruzu almost landing the Q3 onto Bootner. He's stepping forward. He's going to just keep trying to kite away, but the damage is already done. The inhibit's down. Get you Nebula, make the plays, and big error coming up from Ictus there.
Yeah. I mean, Ictus was overstepping a lot, or like multiple times in this game, just walking in alone into the Nautilus Kaiser, which you're not allowed to do, especially when the Kaiser is pretty strong. But
Yeah.
I believe right now we're also noticing the lack of wave clear on the side of Black Flag Sailors.
Well, lack of wave clear, but also lack of mixed damage, right? You're seeing these fights like everything is hitting, but no one's dying, and it's like, well, I mean, look at the items. Udia's got a Thorn Mail, Casante's got a Thorn Mail.
Because Armguard on both Ichi and Fenix.
Merc Treads is questionable. But I guess it's for the CC, so in that sense, it's fine. And so getting through all this armor is proving to be a big challenge. As fed as Bootner is, he can only hit one person at a time, which means the others need to kind of do the damage on everyone else, on the people that Bootner isn't hitting. But they don't do any damage, because
I also find it
AD.
kinda bad by Nord Tempest to go for Infinity Edging. And not for any kind of armor pen.
Yeah, that's definitely a good call to run armor pen on the Yone, but obviously maybe it's just muscle memory, right? I know a lot of Yone Yasuo players, they don't really think about what they're buying, they just buy it. As Baron does get started up. Okay, stop. Baron does get started up. It's very, very low. Denza is going to go over the wall as the Baron is just ticking away on the HP. I'm seeing who gets it, but Ruzu's going to bring him over the wall, securing the smite for sure. Denza's going to go down as Salix jumps in with the killer instinct. Realm Wolf is going to send Loco into the rest of this fight. Ichi goes unstoppable on top of the rise. Salix is going to finish off Ictus here. Double kill locked in for the Kaiser. Did Linus and Yone just like pretend this was not happening? Are they in a different game?
I mean,
they
Linus,
both had TP and they just didn't. Yeah, they both have everything. They just decided not to use anything, and they're now in the face of a 2-man defense. The teleport is going to be channeled in by Ruzu. Linus pops the ultimate as the leap of faith is doing nothing for now. Noir Tempest doing a lot of damage, but there's just so much armor. Ruzu's just laughing in the face of the damage being dealt to him. Noir Tempest does get the knock off into Sandix, but the Seeker's Arm Guard is going to keep him alive as the stage just gets activated, and now the Nexus is open. Blue side OP. Let's repeat that storyline, because Nebula are going to bite back and level up the series 1-1.
I mean, they decided to draft the full armor comp into champions that could really itemize armor. With Cassante, Udia, Nautilus. Even Kaiser is one of the best ADCs to build armor on. Just because you can go for the AP build and just buy the Zhonya's.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree. The draft definitely was problematic. I do think there were so many better R5s than the Alawi. I get it. It's your comfort pick. But it didn't really have a place in this team composition. Like, you got that initial solo kill, which is fine. But then you get solo killed twice back afterwards. And then at that point, the Alawi just doesn't really do anything. We saw at the end there, at the Nexus defense, where he altered and it just did nothing.
I believe the last pick was a problem with Lions Champion Pool.
Or does he not play AP? He doesn't play any AP.
He plays Gragas. At least that's the AP champion that comes to my mind.
Gragas
also play fastest
Gragas.
top lane and Fiddlesticks. Gragas was banned in this game.
So surely at that point, why would you draft? If you're going Yone, you have to go AP jungle, no?
Yeah, that's why normally you go for the AP jungler. But this game they said we want to kill the Kaiser with the Sejuani ult. Didn't manage to do it.
Yeah. Didn't manage to do it, but I mean, let's not criticize them too heavily because honestly, the Rise, the Kaiser, both performing fantastically, but Loco's hooks, finding Bootner in the middle of a minion wave like multiple times this game, like that was crazy. Like this guy's crazy. He's something else. Obviously, it does mean that we have one final game to witness. We will go on to a quick break, but when we return, game 3 will be ready.
Someone that you could forget. Got me drinking that healing, sinking in this feeling. Will you be that time, giving me the signs of life? Making you clear, but you're gonna leave me in the deep.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the SLE. We've got Game 3 of Black Flag Sailors up against Gucci Nebula. So, obviously, first two games were pretty intense. Back and forth. Quiet early games into a very explosive mid-game into... first game, Black Flag Sailors, kind of just won out on a lot of the team fights. I think Gucci Nebula. Then in the second game, same thing. Is the key this game to draft good team fighting, and then you kind of just win?
Yeah, I mean, when you win the team fights, you have when you have the possibility to win the team fights, you have a good way of closing out the game, contesting objectives, even just running it down mid lane. So if you have a good team fight and are in a position to also play out those team fights, it should be you should be in a good position to also win the series.
Yeah, definitely. I think they.
I wasn't expecting you to be so loud, by the way.
I know. I don't know why I did that. Sometimes I just like I'm like This is like, to be fair, the games have been quite mellow. I don't think anything crazy has necessarily happened. So I just thought, let me just randomly scream at the microphone and see how it goes. Anyway, so this draft, do you have any ideas what both teams should be looking for if they want to win this series?
We're seeing a really high prior on Kaiser. Black Flag Sailors decided to take blue side this time. Did Aurora away were the bans in the first two games, right? So I don't think there's really any changes on the bans. At least from...
Well, I do think if you are Black Flag Sailors, that Cassante should be looked at, because obviously in the last game, right, if the answer to Cassante was the Alawi, it clearly wasn't the best answer. Kaiser is being B1 again. We've seen the win rate of the champion. Ooh, and I was saying the Skarner is open now. And this champion is so the Cassante as well. And now this is where it gets tricky, because, like I said, Ilawi was the response to the Cassante. We do get the Gragas. That is likely to be going into the jungle.
I don't know if Denza plays Lilia, because Lilia would be really good in this game right now.
Yes, it would. It would definitely be good. But the problem then is last game kind of showed me, like, Cassante might be a bigger problem than BFS initially thought.
Could also be that the Gragas is just going to go on the top side, so Lions has an AP answer into the Cassante. So there is the possibility of this being flexed. But we see how the draft continues. At least this game, they don't have full AD. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be top lane Gragas probably, maybe even mid lane. Top lane Gragas, Seju in jungle, and Kaiser. Jinx picked up from the side of Nebula. I mean, you have two beefy frontline champions. Together with the Jinx, you can ban out any dive supporters, or like, for example, Nautilus and Malphite, which are answers into a immobile hyper carry.
Yeah. Well, second rotation of picks are coming in very shortly. We do see some bans towards the remaining roles to be selected. I think BFS know that Skarner is not a flex pick, and so that they are banning out some support champions as a, I guess, calculated prediction. Now, R5, I'm assuming for Nebula, they want to give this to Itchy. A lot of Loco's champion pool is being targeted here, so that does open up more picks into the mid lane. What we saw in the first game... okay. So, well, it is the own ban. Definitely good read from Nebula. There's a lot of AP right now on BFS, so banning out another AD mid laner is a fantastic read from them. So this should be a support pick right now. Thresh banned out, but they didn't ban out the Nautilus. We saw his hooks in the last game, and I really, really like this. It should do well into the Kaiser. You can kind of just tag the Kaiser with the ultimate. Kaiser does have a way to dodge the depth charge, but it's a little bit more difficult It's not the most straightforward thing in the world. And now we'll see what BFS do to round out the team composition, because Ichi will be getting counterpick here.
I mean, Lulu, Hava at least.
Oh,
Lulu Kaiser.
okay, Lulu.
I mean,
No,
Kaiser normally likes to play with
yeah.
PC supporters
I think,
because
if I'm not
proc their
mistaken,
passive.
this isn't good for. This is good matchup for Nautilus, isn't it?
I'm not that familiar with the bot lane matchups. I know Lulu is good into Rom, but for
Well,
Nautilus, I'm not sure. Asia. Okay.
Oh my god, we're getting an Azir on Noir Tempest, which we haven't. I've got my opinions of Azir in the SLE. I feel like only specific people should be picking this champion, and the rest should avoid it at all costs. And we'll see if Noir Tempest can get himself into that category. As Oriana being hovered on the other side, we all know the strength of this champion. Top 2 majors in the game right now alongside Syndra. The matchup, weirdly enough, traditionally, heavily favored into the hands of the Azir. But unfortunately, with the recent changes, Azir is extremely weak. Did you see the recent buffs? See, I know we're supposed to be casting these two teams, but I'm going to start to rant. It's Savonix complaint moment. Did you see Azir's recent buffs that they're going to do soon?
I saw they were trying to buff him, but I don't
So,
remember the numbers.
They are increasing Azir's or AD. And that is where, like, you know, everyone's like, oh, cool. Not cool. I don't want Azir's auto attacks to do more damage than the soldiers. What's the point of the soldiers? That's his whole kit. His kit revolves around the W, but you're making his auto attacks do more damage than...
I mean, they
anyway.
could, yeah.
Anyway,
It's probably so he can still farm when he,
No.
at least in the early game.
No.
But
No. It's terrible. I can't believe it. Anyway.
I mean, it's not a good buff, but
No, it's terrible. It's so sad. I think I was seeing a lot of Azir OTPs, like, so a lot of non-Azir players are like, oh, that's pretty nice for him. And all the Azir OTPs, like, at least the ones I follow, they're all just like, are you guys like okay in the brain or something? So it's,
I mean, it's probably not going to do almost anything. Like the only situation where the auto tech buff will do anything is basically in the really early game where you have cooldown on your soldiers.
Yep. Well, the fact that it does more damage than the soldiers, it's quite interesting, because it's like, what's the point of using W if your autos just do more damage, right?
And just place the soldiers behind you and auto tech them to death.
Use your soldiers for your E to get away. Max E. You know, you're just an engaged tool. You just right click when you go in. Anyway, no. On a more important note, this game, Black Flag Sailors, this Azir pick is very interesting, because I'm looking at the team composition right now, and what they've done, I feel this could be accidental, but if it's intentional, then well done to them. They've taken a read on the series. These games are as slow pace as you are going to get. And so they've just gone, let's just draft hyperscaling carries. Nothing happens in early game anyway. Like, so far throughout the series, they have had the better eye for fights as opposed to Nebula. And if the Azir can power spike, if the Kai'Sa can power spike together with the Azir, they're going to have some explosive late game team fights. So I do like what they've done here with the draft. The only question I have is kind of the Lulu. Yeah, I think there was a better support pairing with the Kai'Sa. So we'll just have to see how that works out.
Problem is, what do you pick instead? Like,
Into-
Rom is banned out, Thresh is banned out, Leona is banned out, North is picked, Drell is banned.
Into Zed, sorry.
I mean, instead of the Lulu.
Oh, instead. Sorry, I'm foreign. Yeah, I guess there's not really too many options, because the Nautilus was picked first, but I feel like, okay, knowledge time segment for those learning. If in draft you are thinking about, you know, not giving over a priority support, and instead you opt to ban every support, which is what Black Flag Sailors have done. What this kind of does is you're banning out your own champion pool at the same time. The enemy can only pick one of them, and you banning every single one of them is nerfing yourself as well. So, for example, instead, like they could have banned out Azir. Like if their plan was to blind Azir here, you could have just banned out like the Syndra Ori, which are good into the Azir, and you go to Nebula, who is going to R5 support, and you know this because they want to leave counterpick for mid lane, and you go, hey, you either take Thresh or Leona, whichever one you don't take, we will counter it with either, like, let's say they pick the Leona, you say, okay, well, we counter it with Thresh because Thresh counters Leona. So there's things like that. I think banning both of them was a mistake because now you're like, oh, well, all we got is Lulu because they just picked the Nautilus, right? So yeah, that is definitely maybe a bit of a drafting error from BFS there.
Yeah.
Uh,
The
so
decision
yeah.
to ban both supporters is bad, but I
Yeah.
believe Ictus doesn't play either Thresh or Leona.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
So
No, definitely. I mean, in
you
that
would
sense,
probably
fair
still
play.
go for the Lulu even if both of them
I
were
will
open.
say, however, the kind of ban onto the Braum in the first rotation should have signified to BFS that they are looking for the Nautilus. So out of the 3 supports they did ban, I'm definitely surprised to see that it was the Thresh and the Leona that they decided to focus. Especially if you're going Lulu, right? Where I think Lulu does very well into Leona.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
and Lulu can just pull him off the Leona when she goes in.
Yeah.
Also deny the E engage with her ultimate in. So
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. What I will say is that the key focus for both rosters, right, is like these are 5v5 front to back team compositions. What I'm slightly concerned with is that the carries on BFS, as you can see, they have mobility, they have dashes, they have invis. Azir can travel long distances with the shifting sands. Whereas on Nebula, you have 2 carries, hyper carries as well. Well, Oriana's not necessarily a hyper carry, but you have 2 carries and they're both incredibly immobile. If Gragas can land a good cask, those guys are just dead. Whereas, you know, Kai'Sa and Azir can both avoid the Skarner ult very well. Avoidance on the Cassante may be a bit more difficult because Cassante is released in 2024. So, in 2023, so it's a bit more difficult. But yeah, I think that is going to be the key focus. There's a mobile characters on Nebula, and there are mobile carries on Black Flag Sailors.
yeah, I mean, Black Flag Sailors has a standard front to back kite back combo, so they don't really want to engage. So I feel like Sejuani is maybe just the only tank Denza plays, or like the only real heavy frontline that he plays.
Yeah, could be the case. I mean, like it's that. I mean, I'm interested, of course, about this this Gragas pick and how they were happy to reveal the flex as early as they did. I think that just gives over a lot about your team composition. Of course, it doesn't affect too much because you had the jungle top locked in from Nebula anyway. I do think we're seeing 2 team compositions which are very bog standard, and I go back to that conversation again of what happens if you remove nameplates. If this was played in the current meta climate, it is so heavily in favor of Nebula. Like, these champions are just the best champions in their roles right now. Maybe not Jinx, maybe not I mean, Cassante's up there, maybe not Nautilus, but like Skarner's the best jungler right now. Oriana's one of 2 best mid laners right now. Azir's very far away from that at the current moment in time. I think Gragas is a great top laner, but Sejuani has kind of fallen off in recent times. Still playable, still good, but not as good as the Skarner. Denzel's not looking at his screen. I don't think Shai knew that he wasn't looking at his screen. Oh my god, flash blown already by Brutner at level 1 with a Lulu pairing. Not the best look as the invade comes through.
I believe, even if Nebula has the better comp, I believe they should struggle a lot, except for when the Skarner hits a really good ulti onto one of the carries,
Yep.
or if the Oriana hits a good ulti. So basically,
Yeah.
the Oriana ulti or the Skarner ulti are the 2 important parts. If those two don't hit, it can get really rough for Nebula to get onto the back line of the BFS.
Yeah, that's 100% correct here, but I think, oh my god, the Loco gonna land the hurt. Kai'Sa a bit more fighting power than the Jinx in the early game, so Bruno is winning out on the trades. But buddy, you do not have your flash and already has to use the barrier. Loco, very low HP, flashes defensively. And well, yeah, Jinx early game, not the strongest, so the Kai'Sa does win out on that trade, but Summoner spells for Sanix, still both there. Bruno missing both of them. And Shy is pathing towards bot lane.
Yeah. Both junglers pathing towards bot lane. I'm not sure who is faster, at least in the full clear. I believe it should be pretty even. So maybe if someone decides to skip a camp, they can get here first, get a gank off. But then there's gonna be spotted in bot side on chickens if he decides to go for them because of the reward each he placed. I mean, Loco still has Hex Flash, so him losing his Flash is not the worst, not the worst point, since they're kind of fine.
Yeah, but top lane matchup already looking pretty rough for the Gragas. This was picked into the Cassante. Let's remind ourselves that. And even in the mid lane, not Tempest has only got 7 CS out of the 3 waves, which equates to 1 wave and 1 minion. I'm not sure if he just missed a lot of them. But the solo lanes, the numbers wise, looks very concerning for Black Flag Sailors. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Not the best farmers. Not a farmers league.
Well then don't pick it there, because I think farm's quite important on that champion. I could be wrong though.
Yeah. But you only played Azir a few times, so.
Yeah, you know what was funny? I'm always like, oh, he's an Azir OTP. He can only play Azir. I'm like, guys, I swear I've picked this champion like 3 times in SLE. Anyway, Denza is going for a bot gank, but spotting Shy. Hook is going to land. There is no summoner spells on the Kai'Sa right now. His flash is still down. Sanix flashing forward. The Rocket's going to get first blood for the Jinx. And if there's a hyper carry in this game, you don't want to be ahead early if you are Black Flag Sailors. It is the Jinx. And now Sanix gets that first blood. Going to be able to get this wave in. Shy potentially looking for a turret dive. Reminder, Bootner is missing both summoner spells right now. Shy is going in. He's going to get the pin, but Sanix misses out on the W. But unfortunately for Bootner, the kill did go to the Lulu, so didn't quite get the full gold.
He wants gold.
Yeah, I feel like if you're Lulu there, that was quite easy to give up. And he's walking in front of the minion wave, and that's another kill for the bot lane of Nebula. Bootner, very low HP underneath this turret. His jungler is on the opposite side of the map. Nebula should be comfortable to just grab those 2 kills and head back to the base. Also, this Azir... What is...
18 CS in 5 minutes.
What is this mid diff? Again, I stand strong by this. There's a select few individuals that I feel should be allowed to play this champion in the SLE. So far,
doesn't look like no Tempest is one of them.
So far, no. Really. Yeah. He's missed that one too.
So it's
you know what?
maybe
Maybe this is why they're buffing the AD on Azir. Like, right, I'm watching this game, I'm like, yeah, that's Azir's problem. Look,
he struggles with farming.
Yeah, he does. Well, I mean, it's not only Azir; it's Gragas too, who's for some reason really far behind. And this is the concern, right? You've drafted this hyper-scaling team composition, but you're losing at 6 minutes into the game, and it's not because Nebula have done... What the hell? Yeah, he just finds it right between the lines. Buna does have flash this time. Buddy, you might want to use it because you're just going to die if you don't. That decides just to hold on to it because it's too little, too late. Buna's going to die. Sonic has 2 kills. The solo laners are mega far behind in CS. Loco misses that flash hook, but you are redeemed because you seem to be landing every other hook. And they're just going to get this wave in. Denza has to pick up the scraps. And the gold lead is massive. It is huge. 6 minutes into the game. Oh, Linus might get a solo kill.
Yeah. He probably
He's
also
already
threw
used
them
the
into
ultimate, gets hit up with the Q3. Cask not going to land. The wave just crashes in. Ruzu is absolutely fine. Dragon as well going to get picked up by Nebula. This is, out of the 3, the most dominant game I've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, you had early stuff happening. Brittner losing his flash level 1 in mid lane. The early gank by Shy. Or like, gank and counter gank. Loco,
Yeah,
not
like
hitting
again,
the
not
ulti.
gonna hit
I have flash ulti if he wants to go for it. But
Noah Tempest is only 21 CS ahead of Lulu. Impale is going to land onto Butner. Buddy! Is flash expensive in this economy to use or something? Are we just... Well, he has to blow it eventually. He does actually get a good flash off. I think if Loco had hook up, that was probably a dead Kai'Sa. But yeah, Butner's flash hasn't been up for very long. It's kind of just like... It was blown in that first initial invade. Gets blown here straight away. Clearly, Gucci Nebula clearly have their focuses set onto one target, but, like, I mean, why wouldn't you, right? Look at the state of the solo lanes. It's, like, Azir is so far behind. 40 CS at 8 minutes. What does that equate to CS per minute?
I mean, because the waves spawn like a minute late, should probably be around 5 to 6, but
Oh.
we'll probably see. Like we'll see when it's on at 10 minutes.
I mean,
Like 70 is
listen.
decent, 80, 90 is good, 100 CS at 10 minutes is really good.
Both junglers are ahead of Azir.
Yeah.
Like, this has to be one of the biggest mid diffs I have seen in a very long time. Like, look at the way Ichi's kind of positioning in the lane. He's standing in line with the minion that Noah Tempest wants to farm. And he has to use Q auto attack, which is your trading tools, to get CS. This wave is crashing. There's a solo kill in top lane as well. So, yeah, top lane's doomed. Gosh, this... Okay, Noah Tempest is also dead. And the solo laners from Black Flag Sailors, they're really getting crushed here. And it's not team play. It's just on an individual basis. As Loco Hex flashes over the wall, gets the flash out of the Sejuani as well. And this is as dominant as you're going to get. The individual prowess from Nebula are just proving too much for Black Flag Sailors right now.
Yeah, just...
Oh,
mid lane div, Ictus decides to walk into the brush.
Yeah, well, they're going
Shy
to target
goes for
Butner because, yeah, he doesn't have
Too
flash
early on
Ictus.
the ult.
Yeah, he's trying to get in range to get the wild growth off, but how
Oh.
much realistically is this going to do? Exhaust as well. Sarnix is going to go onto a killing spree. Dreadmine onto the Lulu. Double kill for the Jinx. Maybe. This game, I don't want to call games before they're over.
It's kind of over.
This is over. Azir has... 2 minutes ago, Azir had 40 CS. He's now got 47. He got 7 CS in 2 minutes.
I mean, he got killed, he got zoned a lot.
Yeah, he also
Oh,
went to
yeah.
the shops. He went to buy milk. He did some groceries. Like, what else did he do? What happened? He's 50 CS down at 10 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
bad. It's not this bad.
Ichi was not really performing in the last, or like in the first game at least. Also not that well in the second one. But in this one, at least the laning phase,
This is
I
textbook.
really stepped it up.
This is immaculate laning from Ichi. It's fantastic. And I mean, as much as, yeah, of course, we sit here and criticize Noah Tempest. I mean, I think the praise definitely should be going to Ichi. Look at the way he's playing this lane. This is exactly how you should be doing. And whilst this matchup might not look should not be looking like this. It's like, I mean, I guess Ichi's just better. Like, I don't really have much to say. I can discuss as to how this matchup should look like.
I believe Nord Tempest should just somehow flip it in mid lane and just EQ in to maybe get the ult play off.
He might end up dying though. Super Mega Death. Ooh, good sidestep from Ictus. He's gonna survive that one. He is dodging away from the zap as well. Sanix tanking the turret. Really beautiful shift of turret aggro from the bot side of Gucci Nebula. And that's going to be another kill. A play was attempted in the mid lane. Nord Tempest does have the Emperor's Divide still. Denza has his ultimate still. But, I mean, the problem with making plays in mid lane right now is that this Azir is permanently 1 HP under the turret as we get the replay here.
I mean, that's why I believe Azir should just go in. Hey, Ictus is again pathing somewhere where he is not allowed to be, gets not just hooked into the E. And Loco doesn't hit the Q, and Azir doesn't hit gold.
Oh my god! Oh, no, thank you. I'm good. I appreciate the offer, but I decline. I would prefer not to. Please.
I mean, look at
Okay.
the bright side. Azir managed to get 20 CS in the last 2.5 minutes.
That's more than he's done the whole game. Anyway, okay, Ictus. Okay, I will say, Ictus's movement is fantastic. He's been dodging a lot of skill shots here.
Yeah, I mean, his movement is good. But again, he's not allowed to be there. He just is allowed to stand under his turret. And that's it.
Sorry. I just haven't seen a mid diff this big in so long. It's like, you know, the way mid lane is right now is like you have bad matchups, right? But you can kind of still play it. Like you're still fine. But like this is
This is basically like a bad matchup in top lane.
not even, man. Like Elias at least has some farm. He's almost at 100.
I mean, Gragas against Cassandra is not really the worth. A really bad matchup in top lane is basically you're 3 levels down by minute 10.
Sure.
If the enemy can play it really well.
It's not this bad.
Yeah.
Brother, he's I don't want to be rude, but like, what do we say? It's just, okay, Ictus is getting caught in the jungle, trying to get some vision. Super Mega Death Rocket does go wide. Impale going to land. These aren't even the damage dealers, but hey, it's Skada in season 14, so he's gonna throw a rock in your face, and he's gonna get the kill.
It's 7k gold lead in 14 minutes, so... And Jinx has 6 kills.
Dude, Azir is so far behind. Oh,
They just walk
okay.
in.
I mean, yes, you can just walk in. Noah Tempest does have Emperor's Divide.
He doesn't want to go in.
Skana's.
It would have been too easy to knock the Jinx Ghana into your own turret with no way to get out from them.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
You-
Imagine you could get a kill.
You could. You get 2 kills maybe. Okay, well, Hook is gonna land onto Bootner.
Get shots are getting missed. Okay. Sailors have no idea how they want to play this. They basically already gave up.
Yes.
Just group mid as 4 people, for both teams.
Honestly, if you're BFS, right, like right now, just send it. Just throw it. Like, the game is doomed. They just gotta go balls to the wall. They just gotta send the kitchen sink. Okay, well...
Yeah, you have to send it before you get chunked.
Oh no! Okay.
It's a goal!
Okay. You scored a goal?
Yeah.
Genza, potentially, catching
Right
out
between
Shy.
the offsides.
Yeah, Ruzu is now here in the fight. He's doing a lot of damage. Pushes back Denza with the W. Teleport is coming in. Noir Tempest, this is your moment. Can you do it? Denza surviving for now. He gets knocked up by the Cassante. Ruzu going very, very deep. There is a really nice shuffle with 2 people here, please. You get them both under your turret and they both die.
Nah.
Okay, but he doesn't go for it. He did get the minion wave, which is massive in comparison to what he has got in this game. They do survive that initial fight, and they get the mid wave push in, but that's it for now.
Seems like after the one play in mid lane where he used his flash and still missed the ultimate on Loco,
Stop.
he's scared to use this.
Stop. You can't.
I mean, when you don't use your ult, you can't miss it. So
Yeah, true.
that's why I never throw skill shot.
I mean, he can tell his friends right after that. I only missed one ult.
Yeah. I only missed one ult this whole game.
He still hasn't gone past the 100 CS mark. He should be doing soon. You're actually praying for this. He's been sat on that Nash's tooth, by the way, for so long.
I mean, it's kind of surprising he even has the Nash's Tooth, though.
Okay, well, he does. He does. I mean, honestly, this is it. Passive will do the farming for him. So this is a great play from Nord, and he's gone past the 100 CS mark. You know what? Maybe it would have been. Maybe the strat is right. Just give up your turret so that you can summon your passive turret, and then you can get farmed like that.
And you can't miss the CS that way.
Okay, whoa, really big cast from Linus. Ruzu is very tanking the Cassante. Should be able to just walk out this one. Noir Tempest moved over to the mid lane to maybe try to look for something. If he can get a shuffle onto the Jinx right now, no flash, it could result in a massive play. You have that Sejuani ultimate, and so there are definitely angles for Black Sailors to fight back if they can find the key targets, but it's just about pulling the trigger. If you were in this position, what's your game plan?
Try to somehow kill the Jinx. Try to somehow kill the Jinx, get the kill. Probably on Azir. Because like, even if he's not playing so well, like, at least as for the champion, it's the best use of gold. But if we take a performance into account, it should probably be Büttner. Who gets the shutdown
he's
in the
dead.
Jinx. But, yeah.
Shit.
He didn't use his ult. Still only one missed ultimate.
He still only missed one ultimate. Okay, so they have to put Linus down into the bot lane. I mean, Itchy is just style. Okay, Dragon Assault gets missed again. There's a fight happening in the mid lane. Büttner getting locked up here. Oh, really nice Glacial Prison coming out with the Sejuani. Q3 going to land onto the Kai'Sa. Loco going to get the root with the auto attack. A lot of the defensive tools keeping Büttner alive for now. They are playing underneath the turret. Shy almost dropping low. Büttner feeling confident to step forward. Linus is now arriving. He's going to miss the E though. Loco will die, so they finally get their second kill of the game. And Nebula might have gone too far forward, but Itchy has found a flank and is doing so much damage. Ictus on his last leg, and he's gonna fall. So does the Gragas. Büttner's gonna die. A double kill for the Oriana. No Tempest. He's gonna get a massive Empress Divide onto 2. And just as we said, he has only missed one ultimate this game. He's playing this one out. He still does absolutely no damage because he has no money in his pocket, but a big shutdown. And no Tempest.
2 big shutdowns.
Maybe it was just a ploy. Maybe it was all an act to convince us he has no idea what he's doing on the bird. And he has just picked himself up 2 massive shutdowns, and he is back into the game.
Should be around the 2,000 gold for Tempest here, with him killing both Cynix and Itchy. Cynix having a 700 gold shutdown and Itchy, I believe, around 500. I mean, the fight in first is kinda okay for Sailors. Sailors, they got a kill, they survived, but then they overchased, and 3 of them dying.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful from Noah Tempest. That is the Emperor of Shurima finally arriving onto the Rift. As we went back to live, I was reminded of his CS deficit, so he's still got a long way to go. He picked up 2
only
fat
80 CS.
He did pick up 2 fat shutdowns, but he is still really far behind. So, they're not out of the woods just yet. Okay, they are going for a full-on engage onto Loco here. Depth charge is just going to tag onto Butner. Linus missing out on the E. Okay, that is not a Gragas combo that anyone wants to see again. As the engage is going to be failed, and Itchy now arriving to the scene. He's teleported into the fight, but a lot of the ultimates has already been used from Denza and Linus. So key engage tools are now down. It was only traded for that Nautilus ultimate, and well, that calls off the play. Wizard Dragon spawning in 1 minute's time, and to be fair, BFS, they are fighting back quite strongly, just considering what the gold lead is.
Yeah, I mean, the problem right now is, in 40 seconds, it's time for the Ocean Soul to spawn. And on the other side of on the red side of the game, you have Cassante, Skarner, and Nautilus, who are all really, really tanky, will survive a long time, and the Ocean Soul will only amplify this.
Yes, that is correct. As Ashai getting out here, Denza doesn't have the ultimate Noir Tempest.
Stopped here.
Go forward. That's a 3-man impale. There is no Orianna just yet, so the shockwave combo not available to them. Empress Divide only onto the Nautilus as Sanix is going to get the reset. He's stepping forward onto the Jinx. One more rocket's going to finish off the Azir as a double kill for Shy is going to come in. Shockwave still available for the Orianna. Ictus with 1 HP. Sanix gets the ball, but he will just walk away, and that is just a free dragon, and despite the initial catch onto Shah, he just turns it around with a 3-man impale, and that's going to be a free Ocean Soul onto those tanky targets.
I mean, they just don't have the damage to burst down the Skarner before he can get his ult out.
Yep. Yeah, well,
So,
yeah, he's going to die. Baron is being started up now. Noir, Tempest, and Linus both have TP. The Azir ultimate is down, but the Gragas ultimate coming up. Ruzu is looking for that quick initial engage. Noir Tempest is going to just dodge away from the hook, but it's Linus who eats it instead. Does have the explosive cast coming up soon, but he might not even have the time to use it. Sanix is getting flanked by Kai'Sa, but Kai'Sa's just too weak at this moment in time. Sanix is just playing with his food as he kills 2. Double kill for Richie. Noir Tempest is going to drop to Ruzu, and this game is just over. It is not even close. The fights are being attempted by Black Flag Sailors, and commendably so, but I feel like this game has reached its pinnacle.
I mean, Ruzu going for the flank, then they manages to get out, but Linus is just dying. Good Sejuani ult on the Jinx, but after they don't have the damage to get through the healing on the Ocean Soul. And Santa also manages to just ult away the Kai'Sa, so she has no way of continuing to hit the Jinx and maybe get a kill.
Yeah. I mean, I do think not the worst series from Black Flag Sailors, but this last game, not the best advertisement for how they have played as a whole, especially on an individual basis. Itchy is now Flame Horizoned onto Noir Tempest. He's so far behind. That CS number has grown like at the rate of like a fermenting bowl of kimchi, and Butner is getting hooked. Gosh, Empress Divide is just gonna miss everyone. Denza is gonna drop. That is a very good explosive cast, but the Skard are so tanky with the Ocean Soul. He's just going to survive. That opens up a push in the bot side. Noir Tempest does tank up the Super Mega Death Rocket for his AD carry. And it's just going to be a mid lane push. Guys, SLE teams, if you want an Azir player, I would recommend looking at a player called Arigato. If anyone knows who he is. Really good Azir player. Would recommend. Anyway. I don't know why I did that. It's just... This Azir gameplay is sad.
Yeah.
Sad to see.
If there was a bit if it was a bit more even in the CS department in the early game, maybe Azir would have had more damage to.
Maybe it's a
do
hook and a
something.
two-man shockwave from Itchy, who's going to close out what might be considered the biggest mid-diff in SLE history. And I don't even think that is an understatement, as he is just going to carry home the game. Sanex with an impeccable performance as well. And the rest of Gucci Nebula will stab their knife into the hearts of the sailors as they drop down into the lower bracket. As Gucci Nebula progress further. And your worst nightmare, unfortunately, I do believe it means you will face them further
I think
into this tournament.
I heard something about us playing Vitagen, but I'm
Oh,
not
never
sure
mind.
right now.
Never mind. Well, yes, a dominant game. Where would you say that went wrong for Black Flag Sailors?
I mean, you had probably in the when you lost the first 3v3 fight in bot lane, like the first gank where both junglers were there after. After the the Black Flag Sailors bot lane burnt almost all of the summoners. So that was probably the fight when Jinx got him first. Did you get 2 kills? I'm not sure right now. At least Jinx got kills in that fight, and after that they just continued running bot lane. Sejin was not there enough, or like was not able to hover them in any way. So they just got ran down in bot lane. Jinx got killed, and when you have a 6-0 Jinx on the enemy team, and your Azir has basically half the CS that the enemy mid laner has, it's kind of over.
You know what it is? It's when you say it, right? It's because you know how League players they love to exaggerate things, right? They love to like emphasize how big a gap is. But you're not doing that at all. You're actually just saying how it went. However, it kind of does sound like you are just like, oh, he's miles behind. He's farming 4 CS per minute. It's like, okay, you don't need to exaggerate. But then it's like, well, that's kind of true. Like that is literally what happened. So unfortunate situation. Of course, Black Flag Sailors, they're not out of the tournament. They can take some Ws from this series. I think as a whole, outside of this last game, they were contesting Nebula very, very well. So it's a bit sad to see that they lost this last game in the way they did. But we will close out this particular aspect of the series. We have a follow-up in about an hour's time. Correct me if I'm wrong, producer. Yeah.
So that's
Hours
20.
time. Yeah, 20 CEST. That is, who is it? It's Deadly Chi.
Oh,
up
2030.
against
You.
Chitaly. Ooh,
You forgot you were playing.
I'm not playing.
Oh shit. Oh, yeah.
Wait, is this
You've
not like
benched.
common? Is this not common knowledge? I've stopped playing League.
I mean, I just didn't really follow your matches.
Wow,
I'm-
dude, what the dude? I've been following you. What the hell? I thought we were. I thought we were.
I mean, you
married.
have to learn from the best. Of
We don't
course,
play
you're
the
watching
same-
our matches.
We don't play the same. Oh. Wait. Oh yeah, you guys finished first.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's why. That's why I was watching you guys. I'm kidding. I haven't been watching your games honestly. Anyway, thank you for joining me on the cast. It's been a pleasure. That was very fun, despite a bit of a dominant game 3. We will go into a break for an hour. I don't know if you can consider that a break, but we'll be back with the next series very, very soon.